Back with another. We're back on the restream. No mishaps. They said it was good. They had a glitching issue on the restream, so this is Sunday Madness 42 edition. I do these every Sundays at 2:30, ends around 4 or 5 o'clock, whatever. It's not a long stream because usually we go longer in the beginning of the series, but it's a little shorter this year because everybody's out of the pandemic. They outside, happy to breathe air and talking to people and communicating with people as usual. Last week I wanted to talk about George Macon's video, and I can expound on more about um, let's just say, let's just say the Charleston White shit. I know Charleston White's like a little entertainer and a troll. This is nothing new, similar to Star, right? This is what they're trying to compete with, the cloud chasing, right? Cloud chasing championships. So you're pretty much seeing what's going on around the world. I know people on some bullshit and don't understand that this world is changing. And you got guys like him, and I've listened to him. I think was it 2 years ago during the pandemic, he was talking outrageous shit. I think it was last year, and then I think it was like 2 years ago. He was wild. I was listening to him for a minute. I think it was last year because I listened to his old shit, and I'm not a fan of this motherfucker. No, I mean, so I was just trying to see where his head's at. And once he started going in on the street people, it's kind of like a turn on. Everybody's done that, but where's his youth outreach? He's one of those outreach motherfuckers that's out here and that crazy. And then I saw another video by this dude named Aboriginal Power. He hangs with them feds wearing niggas and claiming they're Native Americans, which they're a bunch of idiots. You ask me, a bunch of idiots thinking that they're indigenous people, which they're not. And we've seen time and time again. Anytime that y'all talk about that Native American shit, y'all going to prison. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, y'all going to prison. I've seen this 10 years ago. Y'all doing the same shit I've seen 10 years ago, and you niggas ain't learned a goddamn thing about that shit. Leave that UCC shit alone, bro. That UCC shit will get you locked up. I'm coming from experience that I've seen people that tried that shit and they was trying to offer me that shit and that shit didn't work. Y'all gotta get off that shit. That shit is retarded and it's just what we're gonna see in so many words, right? It's just what it is. I'm trying to figure out something what I'm gonna do. Okay, Wednesday. I got a Wednesday topic, and it's gonna be later because Restream fixed the shit. Thank goodness. They fucking internet straight or they little servers. We gotta fix the streaming little thing. They had to refresh it. So normally Wednesdays is 8:15. It's an hour, and we're gonna talk about the climate of America. The class and we're gonna say wealth. Oh, y'all gonna be in it for the pain. It's pretty much it. So, like it's the same dumb outreach, and then you got these dudes claiming they're indigenous people, but back to the feds wearing niggas. I had to take that shit off my community post, and they was getting on my nerves with that shit. Like I said, man, everybody's bad. No, they're not, nigga. Those Pan Africans, they're just dumb as you are. They just think they're African. That's all it is. And y'all know better. And using the term Aboriginal is stupid too. I don't even buy that. It's that fez wearing talk, man. Y'all don't do shit. Y'all cowards. Y'all just like everybody else want to cry about shit and then expect people to hold your hand. Fuck out of here with that shit, bro. That's the shit that I'm a little angry about. It's just like our people just misled, man. Like I've been teaching this shit for years, and niggas still have not learned one thing about their damn selves. They want to act ignorant. I just don't get it. I just don't get you niggas on the internet. Y'all hilarious as hell. The new niggas, what I call them, that wasn't teaching this shit. Well, I've been teaching this shit for years. You niggas think y'all got all the knowledge. Y'all sound like side nigga in them. Y'all sound so retarded. I got more knowledge than you, nigga. Like, go sit down, nigga. Open discussion. We're gonna do this again this coming week. Because Thursday Thrills was a mess. I had to go to StreamYards and do that. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it right. It's on the 20th. We're gonna do this shit right. We're gonna do this shit goddamn right, goddamn it. Because I'm tired of this bullshit that Restream's trying to do. Don't do that. That's y'all's, bread and butter. You want to be better than StreamYards, because StreamYards ain't all that. They've changed a few things. They got rid of my old icon picture that was standard, but they had to do something. And you get this blank, screen. Like, you don't need that blank screen. I'm like, what the fuck? What's wrong with StreamYards? It's just retarded, though. They just be on some shit. Want to be seen and all this other shit. Ah, man. Yeah, this is just like I intended. I'm going to put this right here. We're going to go out here. At least I put all my shit on here. Because I'm investing in this software. I ain't going to buy no more gear and all this other shit. It's reasonable. The standard, if I want to upgrade, adjust my wealth a little bit, I'll stretch this shit longer, Don't let this shit fucking fold. Cause I ain't trying to do no StreamYard shit, I'm like, that shit's been dead. I told y'all it was temporarily, so we're back. So I done schedule some shit. It is what it is. What's going on, Tampa? Salute. And then that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Because I think the one thing I was telling them niggas, man, like when I was listening to George Macon the other day, I was just like feeling like that's the problem that we have. We was having this stuff, and it felt like they was coming on into something. And I'm glad George speak on it. He was talking about the EWs, of course, Esau, the Edomites, what we call whoever, they would say Jews or whatever, right? I don't even use the term Jews. It's a so-called term that they created. Or, I call them the suits. They're all the same to me. But anytime you say something bad about them, it's always something. It's always something. It's always something with them. And then it's just like you get the picture, you understand it, but that's just what I'm saying. I'm just gonna clear it all. Yeah, YouTube's acting up. It acts weird every now and then. Yeah, it keeps dropping and shit. Yeah. I'm gonna get a new phone probably for before Christmas. I ain't gonna do Black Friday. I don't know, because November I'm trying to get a microphone or some shit. A recording one, by the way. I gotta get a recording one. Because that's gonna help us further in what's not. But pretty much it, appreciate people coming through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to stop anyone of anything, but it's just you got people talking about this Charleston White shit. Charleston White is just like anybody else. He's just trolling, and a lot of his clout chase. Yeah, he's from Fort Worth, and he has some good points, but every now and then he's reckless. He's worse than Star. I mean, Star knows he's a fucking up. He's a fuck up and a troll. See, Star lets you know the difference between him and Star. I'm gonna give you an example. Star clout chases a little bit, but he don't really clout chase hard like that. You know what I mean? Unless he's confronted or they confront him, and he goes after everybody. He'll be acting crazy, and then he tries to sound like the media people trying to say alleged and all this other stuff. He trying to protect his own ass. He cares about his coin too, and I'm not mad. I mean, I listen to Star when it comes to fuckery and shit like that. He has to put it out there. But Charleston White, his fuckery is different because it's harming the youth. Now, he claims he's a youth teacher. And I hate these so-called youth teachers and these church people. This is one of my pet peeves. I try to tell you. This is why I go after niggas on the internet. They see this stuff all the time and they think this is cool. And y'all think y'all got all the knowledge, but y'all really don't. You're a bunch of idiot ass niggas on the internet just talking shit, but ain't got nothing. But I saw Duke the Don going in after the so-called Manosphere dudes. Bunch of losers, you ask me, but it's just what it is. But Duke has to understand a lot of these dudes are fucking failures anyway. That goes from top to bottom and whoever. No matter what spaces you're in, these niggas ain't doing nothing productive out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing productive shit for years and years and then came back doing YouTube just to see where the job market is. You know, I'm not currently in anything right now, just doing side stuff. You know, that's about it. But in reality is I'm just trying to get certain things off the ground. You know, I'm not in no rush because it was caught by a blip this year. So this year I'm just trying to just be on the standstill. But next year I'm gonna try to do so. I ain't gonna be on here as much longer in the near future because I'm not gonna do a lot of YouTube like that. I'll do some live streams every Sunday. I'll do that and then minimize um the streams. You're gonna see that Thursday streams will be around. That's it. Thursday streams will be around. Wednesday streams ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be pre-recorded. I'm gonna record the video and make it a little longer, and then I'm gonna try to premiere it, and then y'all gonna see what I'm saying. It's gonna be educational and things like that. But Duke said he got some stuff, and he's got another channel I subscribe to. He talking about news and politics. We'll see. We'll see if it's any good. You know what I mean? It's just or it's just his own biases, and he don't do his research. He's a young dude because I'm a little older than he is. He's a young dude. He has a lot to learn. YouTube is not about what's in the algorithm. Is your content worthy or not? Some people are gonna look at it. Is it worthy of watching or not? That's how you get your views. You don't get your views by different genres. No, that's bullshit. In different channels. No, you get your views if you're worth something on your main channel, people fuck with you. And if you can't do it on another channel, that's why I ain't trying to do another channel. Because if I did another channel, I have to have a different, not a different genre, but you got to be about that. So I don't brag about different things. And people with multiple channels, they say they're going to be successful. They usually not successful. I'm going to tell you a secret. They're usually not fucking successful unless you're doing a co-op or a partnership with somebody on YouTube or collab. That's the only way you can have a second channel. This channel, my add you, I talk about a lot of things. It's just I ain't found a way to create another channel, or I'm going to have somebody like a guest or a host, and he branched off, and I get somebody else. I mean, some people can do that, but but YouTube is stagnating. It's nothing YouTube can offer that. You know what I mean? I ain't found that lane in that niche because a lot of people they're just fake on here. Because I realize YouTube is what it is. It's not going to be a real site in the future. And I like what he said about those idiots. I said this months ago, and he said something about them going to Rumble. Well, that don't make no difference. Half of the people that used to be on YouTube is all on Rumble. They lean towards the right wing and a lot of people become conservative, which they're not conservative. They're a bunch of right wing fascist liberals. They just pretend to be conservative. And then that's just how I see it. And I was looking at Duke's video and looking at his latest live stream. And I was looking at it last night. I said, dude, you can't get successful on this shit. The only way you can get successful if you have one channel, you're efficient. Multiple channels do not solve a damn thing. I've seen people fail at those and don't last. I've seen it for the last 5 fucking years. Like this dude I watch, he's an entertainer. His name is Soul Illuminati. He does the basketball and shit like that. He got 1 million subscribers. With the other channel, that spiritual shit, he wasn't gonna get success on that channel. And I'll tell you a secret. He couldn't get it because number one, he was talking about some shit that was probably real similar to what I do. And it's a risk. And people ain't gonna listen to you. And he's taking the journey. Now they know him as Soul from the other channel. But when you talk about the real shit, nobody wants to hear it. And Duke has to understand you're in that lane for a reason. Now, if you're trying to be successful on YouTube, which is no such thing as YouTube success, like my man Legendary Wacky World O was saying, and it says millions of dollars per year off YouTube. Exactly. And what he just said right here. And it just shows you, I was trying to say that to Duke, man, Duke, this shit don't matter, bro. You can have all the multiple channels in the world. You're never gonna be successful. Only way you can be successful if you got your shit in order. And he said about Rumble, and I said this last month. Yeah, Rumble's no different from YouTube, whether your content, that site doesn't lean conservative, Rumble algorithm, all that. Yeah, yeah, you said that last time. Yeah. But those people over there, half of them, I would say a small portion of them are conservative. The rest of them are just fucking liberal. I saw what's his name, that Rubin, that Jewish guy, um, Rick Rubin or some shit like that. He claims he's a conservative. He's a fake. He's a liberal, pretending to be conservative. Because most conservatives, they always in the middle to the right anyway. But not all of them are right wing. Most of them are fascists. Because a true right wing is a fascist. Because they don't see conservatism. They drop it and they have liberal behaviors. Once they act like a liberal, they always gonna be one. Because a liberal can always lean right to left every now. Because they talk both sides out of their mouth. They don't care about the left. They always hate the left. They hate the anarchists. They hate the guys that won't change. If you notice, every liberal, and I've been pushing this lately on my channel, they always bring up the utilitarian philosophies. I want y'all to keep, and they always use the word happiness, this and that, capitalism. See, they're full of shit just as bad as conservatives. Now, conservatives, they ain't perfect. Some of them are decent, and the rest of them just be a bunch of fascists deep down. They try to pretend they're conservative. You can lose your conservative ideology and become a fascist immediately. That's all I see in Rumble. Rumble is the opposite of YouTube, but it ain't gonna solve that. You're not gonna be successful against YouTube. The only way you can have that, you got to have them competing. So Duke was saying they all go on Rumble. It don't mean anything. Just because they're saying the right message doesn't mean and sneak on them. They still gonna have better platforms. YouTube's been finished a long time ago. It's just you just gonna have to learn to adapt and expand your content, or don't come back at all. But that's basically what I'm saying in so many words. But you have to understand that YouTube is one of the biggest beneficiary factors there is. So that's what you have to. So, anyways, that's how I look at YouTube. And what he was saying in so many words about their demise is pretty much it. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. 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 And it's sad. It's sad, and I talk about it a lot. I just don't speak on the ideology in depth like I used to. I still do. It's just a lot of dudes just don't study that shit, man. Because you got to look at it. And it shouts out to Cerulean for saying, look at these concepts, what they're saying. Once you really get to the meat of it, you be like, okay. But yeah, this Duke the Don character, he tries to go after these dudes, the so-called white manosphere. I call them mainstream manosphere. These dudes are breaking down too. They tripping just as bad as the so-called black manosphere. They just tripping. And it's just like, how can it be red pill and they act like blue pill all the time? It's sad when they talk about sexual energies and things like that, this and that. Then they talk about what's that boy named DJ Academics? We already know he's a fuck up. We already know Mike Rashid's a failure fitness guru. He's a fuck up. I remember watching the fitness people back in 2015, and he was one of them. He's always going to be a fitness dude. He wasn't no rapper. He was a shit rapper. He was a shit everything. But when it comes to that fitness, everybody know about that fitness plan. He got that steroid plan. Is anyone know about Rich Pena? If y'all don't mind, you do are y'all familiar with Rich Pena? He passed away from steroid use. A lot of people try to say that ain't true, but it is true. He's obsessed with his body now. Come on. I mean, stop it. I mean, that's what you see in the so-called white manosphere. You got a bunch of bodybuilders joining that shit. I'm gonna talk about that on a vlog stream on the outside. There's bodybuilders in modern day manosphere or mainstream manosphere. And the reason I'm saying is, I've noticed that you have Elliot Halls, a well-known bodybuilder that does the training of homegrown YouTube bodybuilder channel. Many more, Hodge twins, you name it. And then you have Mike Rashid. This shit is wild. So basically, you're getting all these bodybuilders to be in y'all's building block. So Rolo Tomasi and all them idiots co-sign this shit. Or Donovan Sharp, because they care about fitness, right? Why listen to these guys and then they come into y'all side, which is crazy to me. And Mike Rashid, they say he left out of the the Flims and Flamsy podcast, or should we say Fresh and Fit? If Fresh and Fit goes to Rumble, it won't be any different. They'll get numbers, but no one's not gonna fuck with Rumble like that. If Rumble had similar rules to YouTube, but the opposite, if you don't lean towards that, you're not gonna make it on that platform. That's why people don't fuck with it. It will never be like YouTube. It'd be just like another alternative, just like Daily Motion, all of them. They all tried. The only thing is, do you accept everyone's viewpoint? So I'm saying, like YouTube done got too big to the point it's gonna collapse itself because Google don't have the manpower to control everything. They just got rid of their gaming system, Stadia, which is really fucked up, by the way. But that's why Google is not great for everyone. They good in searches, but outside of that, what else they're good at? So I'm saying they got to compete with that. So it's pretty much y'all seeing what I'm seeing all the time. That's why I don't really get why people talk about, and then we're gonna talk about Charleston White, what George Macon was saying. He's absolutely right. That dude is not helping the youth. He's one of these old niggas that want to talk down to the old youth and then pretend to help them. Like, man, fuck that nigga, bro. You're from Fort Worth, Texas, and you're fucking losing. Yeah, you got kids, but you're a fucking loser online talking shit and not doing a damn thing about it, and don't show and prove your work. At least George Macon, I could say this about George Macon. At least he showed his children, his wife, beautiful black family. At least he's doing the fucking word and show and prove. That's why I don't say nothing bad about George Macon. Shouts out to some of the B1 guys, him, Tori and Rain, the real ones, and Information, all them dudes. At least they're doing the fucking work, unlike most of these niggas on the internet. See, I don't have to show y'all that. I already know I'm doing the work by helping y'all by speaking. I go outside to talk to people. I do all this stuff. I used to do that on my job and just build. That's all the fuck I did, and I just move on. That's what I did half of the time offline on YouTube. So I really understand what's going on, but people just want to talk shit and just act crazy and be belligerent. It's just like, it's funny to me. You know what I mean? Because it's so funny that people just want to talk way more shit and just want to get into me so much. I don't get why people just chill the fuck out. I mean, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. Like, you can say wherever you want about what's going on in the world, and then you talk about Charleston White and all these guys. Like, he's another clown. Looks like a Cat Williams wannabe. That nigga is crazy. He's saying out reckless shit. Yeah, he's a talker. Yeah, he's getting aggressive with the rappers like T.I. I understand his message, but his message is not helping the youth. I don't care what nobody says. Nobody gives a fuck about him. And I've watched him, I think, it was last year, and then I watched some of his shit from 2 years ago and prior. He was talking about the pandemic. I think it was 2 years ago. I believe it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago because I watched him 2 years ago. He was crazy. He got crazy the next year. I've been watching him, and I think I told this to Kuda one time. Yeah, that boy's crazy. He's not helping the youth. He's just running his mouth and being simple minded as always, and just being on that type of tip. Get what I'm saying? Like, you can't expect people to be on that tip, and then there it is. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna get off that and show y'all something real quick. Yeah, I'm not gonna show nothing, but but next Thursday I am showing shots. I'm showing screenshots this Thursday. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about these hoes from the pineapple, and I'm gonna clown their ass. I gotta edify you. You niggas gotta understand, stay off their damn platform, especially her. Melly's crazy. She done found herself feeling so everybody's been blind all this fucking internet, and especially these hoes. What is everybody with blonde hair? They said blondes have fun. Ain't nobody want them. They look at their complexion. Nope. Nope. They don't want to look at their complexion. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And he's saying, what's going on, new? He said, who's Charleston White? Oh, you can look him up. He's some dude from Fort Worth, Texas. He's some type of activist outreach leader, some bullshit. And it's kind of sad that he's not really helping the youth. I mean, a lot of people think he's hilarious, but no, he's just an idiot, man. Like, I've listened to him 2 years ago, and I'm like, okay, this dude right here, bro. And I'm just like, and I get it. I get his angle. I get his angle of who he is, and it's nothing personal me and this guy. I just don't like the fact that he can be full of shit sometimes. And he said, "Oh, I'm just doing this for a character." No, if someone's gonna call you out, you got to be challenged. Let me tell you something. People call me out on my shit all the time. They call it out when on panels and shit. They did that already. Most people did that. They did that on my channel. They did it, whatever, and said they piece and went on. Even that clown, what's his name, Moses, trying to say I was a week from this so-called. No, I wasn't, nigga. You wasn't around when you existed. You just a little peewee trying to get mad at me about some shit that don't even matter. I mean, these little niggas on the internet, bro, they hilarious, bro. Especially old little niggas. And he's littler than you knew. Yo, this nigga is 50 something years old and he's somebody's grandpa or somebody or young grandpa, but talking all this shit on the internet. Like, dude, it's not that serious, bro. Bruh. It's like you talk a good game and George Macon exposes ass. He don't show nothing about the children. I get it. You know, he's got kids, he's stable, the man's a man. You know, I don't hate George Macon for that. George is George. I just look at him as a content creator. I don't look at him as a B1 guy. No. He's talking about shit that matters and he gets on everybody's head and he does that. He's the only person I can take serious out of these so-called pro-blacks that takes serious. He criticized himself, but he said the urban nerds don't get no views because number one, people are not fucking with it. They're not fucking with it. And that's a damn shame. He said even the subscribers don't even purchase the shit. I might purchase one of his hoodies one day. I ain't got around to it yet, but I eventually will. You know, I can't promise people nothing, but I eventually will if it's, you know, to my liking or whatever, and I'll donate whatever it is. But I'm just saying, like, come on, man. But I get the Charleston White angle. I get that angle. You know why? Because Charleston White is a guy. He's a hot topic right now. He said something bad about Trayvon Martin. He said something bad about whatchamacallit, the George Zimmerman conversation. I understand that. I get that. I don't care for Zimmerman or Zimmerman and all that little boy. He ain't no but a little white boy. A lot of people try to say he's Hispanic. No, he's a little white boy. He's just mixed with little brown and he's a white boy. He's a dirty, ugly white boy that should have been executed. But to me, I believe someone paid him to kill Trayvon. That's just me. That's my little theory, but I ain't gonna get into that because I don't give a damn about Trayvon Martin's family like that. They suspect. I found some very sensitive information years ago when that shit happened, and not to like the looks what team his daddy was playing on. He's on the other side with them devils over there. We don't fuck with them over here. But it is what it is. I'm gonna leave his pops out because we know he's weak as shit and didn't do nothing about it because they ain't telling what happened to him. That boy died the way he died, and I can't really go in depth like I want to. I would love to, but I ain't gonna speak on that issue. I'm gonna leave it alone because that could have been a ritual, and we don't know what it is. But we're gonna leave that boy alone because we're just gonna let him rest. And it was unfortunate. It happened. I'm gonna tell you to you niggas, get over it. It's over, and y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it. Like you ain't doing nothing else. Y'all ain't do nothing when Nip died, and he tried to help y'all black asses. It's a lot of people, and they got killed. It happens. It's hatred around us. Yeah, it's self hate, and then you got the system hating us. You got to learn to stay away from shit like that. Now, I used to teach that in the day, and niggas still didn't listen. Hard headed, and they still get their head knocked off. See, I told you, Charleston White's no different, but the difference is if people like Charleston White, let me tell y'all something. Let them. Because all it is, they're exposing their damn selves who Charleston White is. It is what it is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, New was saying I was reading this comment, but anyways, but it's just like why Charleston White is a center topic. Now I understand George making he's an advocate for children and things like that, and this is a sensitive topic for older black men. Older, I'm not saying elderly, but older black men like 40 plus or my age or in between 50. I'll say 50 to 30 plus. I'll say it like that, or in that range, right? That's where leadership and then eldership comes in, right? When you have an elder like Charleston White, which he's an elder, he's 50 some years old. He's done been in the penitentiary. He's been in prison since he was like 9 years old with the gun. And they said that's the first time he got crazy. He shot a white dude. That's what he said. Now, I'm not mad him shooting a white dude. I'm not mad about that. He said he did. He did go to prison for that. That's what it came out of his mouth. Y'all can watch his old shit, and I don't have to pull up nothing on his ass because there's no need. Y'all know who he is. Y'all just type in his name, and he's somebody that he's an anti-gang person. He say he used to be a gang, but he's anti-gang and all that shit. He's one of them type niggas, but he's the type of nigga that likes to troll them, right? But the thing is, he hit a sense of the nerve with the Trayvon shit. I understand that, but they're not gonna speak on it because it's a sensitive topic. I can speak on it, and no one gives a fuck about Trayvon. And I'm not gonna shit on his family like that. I know his family ain't shit. I'm just gonna say it like that. But the boy didn't deserve to die like that. But he was in the wrong place, the wrong time. And that boy Zimmerman, they say he acted on his own. No, he didn't. Somebody probably told him to do that. We don't know that situation. We don't know what happened that night. We don't really know. We don't know the details until the real shit comes out. Y'all be like, "Oh shit! Oh, somebody set this up." Yeah, they. Yeah, that's why they swept that Trayvon Martin under the rug. So I don't care about that Trayvon Martin shit. That's just a tactic that Charleston used, and I know why Trayvon Martin is important to certain black people because it's a sensitive topic since 2012. That's 10 years ago. No one cares about it. I mean, the man got off and none of you niggas riot. Where's y'all's riots at? Y'all could have rioted back then. Y'all could have rioted 10 years ago, like in 1992, but y'all failed to do that. See, 1992 at that time is how old? So I'm saying, how many years was that? See, in 2012, that'd be like, was it 14 years in distance? 14 years? Or should I say 15 years or 20 years or how you want to subtract? I want to subtract that. I want to subtract that. How many years was that in that span? Because I want to get y'all to understand and y'all could have rioted in 2012, right? In 92. Let's look at let's calculate that. Let's calculate that. Subtract 2012. That's 20 years, right? 1992 to 2012. That's 20 years. Okay. Now let's go. Let's delete all of it. Let's go 2002. That's 10 years ago. Okay. 1992 riots, so the LA riots that into 2002. That's like 10 years. What's going on, Street? That's 10 years ago in span, right? You niggas could have rioted back in 2002. You also could have, what's going on, Dick Dub? You also could have rioted, what, 2012? That's 20 years ago span. Okay. Now stop. That's 2012. That's 30 years ago. Now, 30 years ago, the riot is based 30 years ago. Now, 30 years later, y'all should have rioted after the pandemic. Where was this? We saw this during the pandemic when George Floyd was killed. Where was the intensity, so-called black people? Huh? You know what I'm saying? I agree with George Mason said what Charleston was foul for saying, but Charles is being a troll, and I mean Charleston, excuse me, Charleston White CW was being what he is. He's similar to Star. He don't give a fuck about black excellence and all that other shit. No, 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 no. They don't care if they were former gangsters or not. No, he just looking at them as niggas. He's the type of dude that don't care, and his job is you can't shut him up. See, on YouTube, he's paid to say what the fuck he is. He said it out of his own mouth, and I agree with him. He's paid to say that. And you don't see his ass on Rumble because Rumble ain't nothing. Because Rumble's going to be trash. These dudes going to change their style and switch up and come right back on here. Because I know how YouTube is mainstream already. It's the problem. And now if there's competition, people going to leave this shit. The only way you can leave YouTube and destroy it, you got to stop putting faith in it. And if the big content creators leave, they're done. And Google's going to have to sell it to somebody, and then this shit will perish. Now, these tech companies are dirty. Let me tell you something about video game tech companies and tech companies that do just straight internet and tech stuff. They do weird shit a lot. Y'all need to study Microsoft, how they do things, how they get rid of business practice. And these companies don't give a fuck. All they care about is their wealth. And I understand it's just like politicians and movies and these businesses. They don't care nothing about y'all. They care about their interest in the day, their interest rates and all that other shit. That's all they care about. And just like Charleston White, he cares about his interest rates of people. See, if that money does not come in his hand, he ain't gonna stop talking. He's not gonna stop. It's too much money in it. No, no. It's too much money. And I just feel like he's gonna continue to do what he's doing. And George, you do your thing, man. George Macon, salute to you, brother, man. Keep doing your thing, but that man is not gonna change. He's just one of many. It's a lot of niggas like him on the internet, on different platforms, especially Instagram and Twitter, and there's a lot of him like that. See, let me tell you, so why I say fuck Facebook. Facebook's too evasive. No one gives a fuck about it. I don't fuck with it. I know my family's on there, like on my both side of the family, but I say fuck it all together. I don't care about that shit. That's why I got this for. I got YouTube for a reason. I'm keeping this as it is, as we can see fit. So it's pretty much the same that you're seeing that in many words, right? And that's the thing. And that's the thing. So you see this stuff a lot, and then you expect more than the same, right? And so it's pretty much you just got to understand that a lot of people are just not going to go for it. I know everybody doesn't like the fact that I'm speaking knowledge of what's going on, and I know everybody's triggered about what Charleston White said about Trayvon Martin. To me, that's not the issue that black people should focus on, because he's gonna keep saying it all the time. Now, I like what George said about crime statistics. He said we didn't start killing each other since the 70s. He's right, where he's from. According to where he's from in New York, he had the numbers, he had the video. Let me find that video for y'all, because in case y'all say I'm bullshitting. Um, we're going to yeah, I don't look at that shit. Shouts out to Lockhart, perspective, but I didn't mean to hit that. Now YouTube gives you all those videos and shit. And I think was it that Thursday? Let me see. Let me see something about George Macon. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in the chat for y'all. I'm gonna share that. Copy the link. I want y'all to go look at his channel, and I'm gonna tell y'all something about it. The reason I want y'all to go look at it for yourself, and in case y'all think I'm bullshitting, and I just put it in the chat. So pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, y'all check this. Y'all check that video out. Y'all check that video out, because if y'all think I'm bullshitting, he said some things that I kind of agree what he was saying in so many words. It's unacceptable, like things like that. He talked about the Kanye thing, all that other stuff, but he got attacked by the top people. And my response to all of it, George, keep doing your thing, keep striving. A lot of these niggas, they just gonna be who they are. But I'm just telling you, Charleston White's gonna be who he is. He ain't gonna stop. And I said this in the chat room. I said he ain't changed, and he's gonna remain being an asshole. As long as he's getting paid. He said it on another person was playing his shit on the channel, and he was on the live stream on Instagram. He ain't stopping. He's getting everybody's attention. What he's trying to do is get that bigger audience, and y'all can't stop him. He'll be the most talked about on YouTube, because he won't shut the fuck up about those rappers. So it's pretty much the same all over, all the way around. And that's how I look at it. So when you're talking about a guy like that, you're expecting much in return. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I look at it in so many words. And you got to look at things like that. So that's how I look at it. But when Charleston White speaks, he speaks from that angle, going against, the street dudes, because he was a former street dude himself. You can't expect anything from most people. So it's pretty much the one and the same, one and done. So how can anybody criticize everybody and then you don't show your work against helping children? We ain't seen no video of him doing that. No, we haven't. We just see him talking shit about niggas and have problems with them. Didn't want the police act up, and they try to say he's crazy. See, somebody got his number. That's why I don't worry about him. He lives in Fort Worth. He's on every other interview, and it is what it is. And that's pretty much it. Like I just tell people, I don't care about no so-called ministry of space. That shit's dead to me, bro. It don't exist to me anymore. And it's pretty much it. It's pretty much it. And it's pretty much it. So we're off the topic of last week's Thursday that we talked about with the Charleston White, and then we talked about the recent events and things like that. Somebody says about my man getting doxxed. His name is Gino, right? I don't really care. That's his problem. I wish Gino well. No hate on Gino or anything, but shouts out to Gino, one of my mods. He got exposed the other day. It's fucked up, and it was inevitable, because you can't be saying nothing off air because people leak your information on any of these sites. You're out of there, and it's fucked up. And most people feel sorry for him. I do feel sorry for him a little bit, but not all the way. That's on him because he has to take up ownership to that too because his mouth got him in trouble. A lot of people, it's no hate on him. I'm gonna say this to him: it's no hate on you, man. But we kind of warned you last year. Like anytime you was saying it publicly or whatever, they got a team of fools over there too. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to be mindful. The internet is it's obvious, because in the pandemic, everybody was doing that dirty shit. Now, I know Kwame and Suge is going at each other, blow for blow. But Kwame's a fucking clown. You're not messing with Suge. Suge's laughing at your ass to the bank right now. It is what it is. That's enough drama I done seen. But outside of that, ain't much on YouTube. I've been looking at old walkthroughs from what's the guy's name that does the GTA Professional. I've been looking at his shit. Everybody shit. And then Duke the Don's talking about Sneeko and all them. Yeah. It's pretty much it. It's pretty much I seen a lot. So it's like you see this a lot and you expect more for most people. So things like that, and that's just how it is. I just know that it's not going to stop there or whenever. You just keep doing your thing. Okay? So when you have people talking about you 24/7, you're not worrying about what others think. So, I know everybody's watching football right now and then sports is on and things like that, all the Packers getting their ass beat. Patriots whooping the Browns. That ain't no game. They ain't no game. Steelers is neck to neck with the Buccaneers. I had all be good. This Tom Brady, you see. It's Tom Brady, you see. Old rematch from him when he was with the Patriots. Broncos and Chargers tonight. Ooh, that should be a great game tonight. No, that's tomorrow night. Excuse me, tomorrow night. Oh, tonight is the Cowboys and Eagles. Ooh, that's gonna be a great game tonight. Eagles and it's gonna be in Philadelphia. Cowboys ain't ready. But somebody's gonna lose that bet. If Yellow Beezy bet Gilly TV, I mean not Gilly, Gilly the King, he would say. Most people know him as Gilly the Kid, but Gilly the King, I know he's got a premiere at 7, but they're gonna go against the Cowboys and they bet it on his show when it was aired, pre-aired and all that other stuff, right? To Yellow Beezy and they interviewed him. Yellow Beezy is a Cowboys fan. We're gonna see who's gonna get their ass beat tonight. I'll be watching from the distance, but you know how it is. You got the Seahawks today. The Cardinals. The Cardinals should kill the Seahawks. The Chiefs gonna beat the Bills. That's gonna be a good game. It's a lot of great games. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of great games. You got Packers and Rams at 4:05. Not Packers, Panthers and Rams. I to be honest with you, the defending champs should beat the Panthers. Miami should be winning right now, but ain't nobody trusts Tariq Hill and Tua. So it's like it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And that's how you do. Yeah, what's going on, Pastor? Salute. But that's football. They coming in and I was talking about the Charleston White character, and George Macon was talking about him. I said, that's an important string y'all just need to look at because he's coming off crazy and then talking about the youth, but he's not really helping the youth. He's just being full of shit all times, and expect him to be this great character, but quite frankly, he's full of shit. That's how I look at him. I don't see any difference to him and anybody else. So, yeah, it's not fatiguing, but I'm still with this right now. So I'm just talking to y'all for a little bit. I know I sound a little boxy, but I'm back at it again, once again. you see that if you see guys like Charleston White, don't pay him no mind. He's coming hard at Ti, and then Hassan wants to side with dude. Another typical nigga, right? Everybody's looking for clout these days. Trying to see if they gonna get views or not. And that's how I look at it. But you don't underestimate someone crazy like Charleston White like that. Cause he be running his mouth too and then be telling it. So he's a question mark. You know what I mean? But he can get exposed in person. You know, people gonna do him dirty. It's the energy you give out prior to that. You know what I'm saying? But y'all gotta understand, a lot of stuff comes in the works of what we see right now. You know what I mean? I don't understand why people are just looking at the main thing that's going on. But the main thing is you're gonna have a bunch of Charleston Whites talking shit. You just got to be mindful of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just act like this stuff don't happen all the time. It is what it is. It is what it is. She said forever type love. People on Instagram are crazy. That nigga doing it. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He doing it right. Nigga, lucky motherfucker. A lot of these niggas lucky on Instagram. They got these holes and trying to wipe them up. It's hilarious, fuck, man. These niggas is funny, bro. They hilarious. And she wants somebody else. Man, they love cheating, bro. These light skinned hoes, man. They hilarious, man. They so hilarious. They talk the most shit online for one to fuck more dudes than anybody. Like, bitch, stop it. Stop it. You want more attention. They're full of shit half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my sister light skin, but she ain't out there like that. She don't put out like that. But the rest of them I seen online and in person, they just fake, bro. Like, I've learned my lesson. They care about their complexion shit. They try to say they don't, but bitch, yes you do. You care about that complexion shit, and y'all do it so easily because you run your fucking mouths. Just like I saw on Melly's shit. All these hoes care about their complexion shit. They care how they look. Don't never let a hoe lie to you on the internet. They lie all the time, and that's the same shit I've seen all the time. You got one that's a baby mom. We're gonna talk about. Her name is Kiki. We're gonna get her ass. How you married and you have a kid and then you dating these niggas? Like, stop it. That's shameful. Yeah, struggle delts. Yeah, yeah. And he said he private streamed and he got his info from Arta Itmore, but thought they were anti-doxers. Yeah, yeah. I got that screenshot too, but I ain't gonna do nobody dirty. You know, these niggas is fake. I got more screenshots. I ain't gonna show you the GMT shots. I got those for a later date if they want to go at me like that. I'm gonna use that for something else. But you got a lot of fake motherfuckers on here, man. Like, I'll be on the prowl this week. But yeah, I was at that stream when he talked about old girl synthetic or pathetic G. I call her pathetic G. She's pathetic. She sounds pathetic. Ain't nobody worshiping that shit. Taz and all them niggas, they're pathetic, man. They just looking for content and attention. That's what these niggas do. And that's why I don't really talk a whole lot of shit like to them, because in person I'll really do them dirty. Let's just keep it 1,000. I do them dirty. I ain't soft like these niggas in person. Like in person, these dudes is hoes. They ain't gonna do shit. They get punked by a lot of niggas I've heard. Like when I did these long live streams and then off airs, I've talked to certain people and they told me these dudes are soft. I don't waste my breath on clowns like that. But it is what it is. But the internet is crazy. You expect that. You expect a lot of bullshit. Yes, I talk about every now and then I throw shots at old boy. Used to be from Mississippi, lives in Colorado, but y'all know his name. I call that man 3 syllables, but I'm gonna leave him alone. He's irrelevant to me. Him, Fitnelli, all these niggas is irrelevant to me. They talk all this bullshit. But speaking of the bullshit, I heard Sister George versus Little Cutthroats. It's hilarious. Little Cutthroats is hilarious. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Little Big Name. I call him Little Cutthroats. He always wants to say, cut your throat. I look like a damn cartoon character. Fuck out of here. Well, there's a goddamn cartoon character, and all he does is complain about hoes all day, and then females that he don't like, and he used to have off-air conversations and private conversations and on-air conversations with these hoes, man. Like, nigga, stop it. Get your life right. And your channel's fucking weak. Even his first channel was garbage. Yeah, I was in his chat, just to troll the motherfucker, but his channel is fucking weak. He's got a Looney Tune avatar. Like, my nigga, at least I show my face on the vlog stream, but nigga, you need to be quiet. You went to that fucking gay-ass meetup. A gay-ass meetup that don't do a damn thing but help nothing, and y'all ain't even purchased that. And then I heard Theo took you off the shit, took you off the list. That's what I heard. I heard someone said that in the comment section when Ball X had a clip of you going at Sister George or whoever, and they said they took him off that list. Shouts out to, I think it was Red Sings Blue. Shouts out to him. Yeah. But Red Sings Blue got to understand, they've been on their heads, man. It's just a matter of time. They're not doing it right now. No, they're going to do it this year. They've been doing it last year. They just taking a good ass time to see who's going to act crazy. They're on alert right now. I'm trying to tell you, this is the year you don't want to get knocked off. If you get knocked off this year, next year, you're not coming back. They're getting at everybody that's on that I hate woman bullshit. And it's in the title in the videos. See, I throw subliminal shots at people, and that's what I do, and I get my shit off. But what you niggas do, y'all just put the title and y'all get emotional, start screaming and yelling at in panic mode, and there it is. But most people get crazy, intensify what's going on in the conversation. But normally it's just like, that shit is retarded, bro. That shit is retarded. You can't be saying shit and you got a problem with them and then try to act like you can help the community. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. You worse than Charleston White, you fucking clown ass nigga. I mean, who the fuck he is? I call that nigga a little cutthroat. You ain't gonna cut nothing. Get your head pushed back by a bullet, the back of your skull, nigga. Talking all that reckless shit on the internet, that get your head blown away. Especially here in GA, man. Like, dude, they see your cartoon looking ass, you'll be in the cemetery in in a couple of days, nigga. Stop it. Old fuck. Old narcissistic bitch ass nigga. That's all the fuck you is. Just like the rest of these narcissistic hoe ass niggas. They ain't gonna do shit about nothing. And that's the majority of the so-called mainstream niggas and people and niggas in general, period, on the goddamn YouTube, internet, Twitter, Instagram. I can name all of them. All of them ain't shit. Fuck every last one of them. And that's what they do. They bitch and complain about the same shit. Just like George Mason said, he should have gone and say they were narcissistic and retarded and stupid. He should have said they ain't gonna do shit for the community and they just gonna be bitch ass niggas the rest of their life. That's why the white man got a dick up in your ass because he made you a narcissist, made you a fuck nigga, as you always been. It's like buck breaking. Don't get me started. You niggas has been weak. And it goes back to the programming. It goes back to the creation of capitalism. It goes back to modern liberalism, aka utilitarianism. Bullshit. That's what the fuck it is. Like, you niggas kill me, bro. Talking all this bullshit about women and then y'all ain't gonna do shit about it. Like, the fuck out of my face, bro. Like, little cutthroats and the rest of them niggas, they're clowns, man. All they do is bitch and complain about females all day long. And nobody gives a fuck about them. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about them. Let's see what Dick Thug said, because a lot of these niggas, they just clowns, man. They're fucking clowns. Yeah, what he's saying, he can have him monitored. He's already monitored. He's a fucking clown. They've been monitoring him forever. I don't know what else you say. He's literally sounding like a yeah, he's a fucking idiot. Yeah. Because what he does, he screams at the top of his lungs, and people identify him because he looks like a damn cartoon character. That's what that nigga looks like with them fucked up ass bifocals on he got. Fucking clown ass nigga. I hate old niggas like, especially Gen X niggas. They get on my nerves. I don't know who's worse, them or the boomers or mines. They ain't shit, and they act just the same. Act like bitches, man. They ain't been raised right. They some hoes in real life. If I see them in person, I fracture they shit for real. You know what I'm saying? But utilitarian question. What's the question? Because it ain't helping society. It's actually hurting it. The more I research that philosophy, man, it's actually hurting it. Because that shit's been going on since I don't know how long, since the Victorian period, but then it spilled over in the 20th century and the 21st century. What you got modern liberalism today? Because liberalism is actually new. That concept is not old as y'all think. Y'all think it's old. Nope, it's new. And the concept, what you would say, like Epicureanism, I talked about, that birthed all those systems, like utilitarianism, liberalism. They all the same. They have the same concepts. And the funny thing is, they lie about what goes on in politics and law, and they do this shit all the damn time. But you got a lot of niggas just want to lie on here, man. And these hoes and these so-called, whatever, women, I call them females, they always do this shit. Complain about it won't solve nothing. You got to get out there and do it. It's just that shit, what y'all doing is content. No one gives a fuck about that. No one gives a fuck about that. Like the last time I've been on panels like that, I would say, was it last year? Was it this year or whatever? I stopped fucking with those conversations. Like it gets fucking retarded after a while. You know what I'm saying? It gets so fucking retarded that most people just want to be on some bullshit. And I get it. And then this year's been a wash for me because I ain't been a panel participant in that long since the earlier of 2022. So the first half of the year has been garbage. Middle of 2022 in the fall it's mediocre at best. It's all right, but next year will be a little better. We'll see. Because I'm not gonna be streaming all the time. Now Sundays and Thursdays, I'm mainly gonna do my live stream on those 2 days. After that, the rest of the days I'm not. I'm just gonna drop content after content. Probably Wednesday or whatever. Tuesday stream is gonna be, it's every other Tuesday. The independent thinking series, or if I do that series, you'll see some differences. But most people gotta understand that when you see types of niggas that be screaming and yelling about their problems and their, sexual problems, like these dudes got issues, bro. Like nobody wants to listen to that for hours and hours on end. That shit gets stale and retarded. That shit gets stupid after a while. And they try to say they want the access. No, they fucking losers, man. They ain't go outside and see the world. Stop being bitches. I mean, they wasn't raised right. I don't give a fuck if it was high school shit. They're bitch ass niggas to me in real life. See, where I'm from, we would clown they monkey asses. They wouldn't even last in the fucking state where I come from. They'll be drowned in, man. They're so pathetic they can't even think straight. And it's just sad. And this is why the females will say the shit they say on Twitter, Instagram, whatever about you. And they're right. I have to agree with them. They're right. They're right. They're pathetic. And the younger generation is pathetic too. They do the same shit too. You act like they don't do it. They do it all the time. I see it all the time. I see it in person. I see it all the time. I see it years ago. They did it, and it's a repeat of history. The pandemic did not change people. It just made it worse. Bunch of idiots around. Bunch of fucking morons that think life is going to give them something. They don't give them nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just tired of the bullshit. I'm just being evil right now because this is Sunday Madness. We got to do what we do. Like, this is the 42nd edition. But you got a lot of fake motherfuckers on the internet talking all this bullshit, want to spew shit, but want to act like they the best. The fuck out of here, bro. Niggas is whack, man. That's all I'm saying. But, I'm just saying it from my experience of seeing what I've done on these live streams. These niggas is pathetic, bro. Stop it. Just fucking stop it. If it ends goal is to increase human happiness and brothers find enjoy the same rhetoric in this space, that would a utilitarian keep the content going to increase said happiness? No, it don't keep them happy. It just makes them stupid. What keeps them happy is trashing females all day. That's what keeps them happy. And they spew bullshit. What's going on, Information Man? Salute. And what they do is they get into these modes, these psychosis and these outrage hurdles. They act like a bunch of sexuals and they don't realize that people are watching them how stupid they are. They're not gonna lock these niggas up. No, what they're gonna do to these niggas, they're gonna treat them like terrorists, and they're gonna treat them like idiots. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna treat them like the Mexicans at best, or these right wing fascist rednecks that you see on the internet and television. They're just gonna black them out. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna make them go somewhere else or conform, and they're not really happy. The only happiness they do is they just love being on bullshit. But that's just them. That's them in general. But yeah, it's a little utilitarian concept. Yeah. But that's what they preach. But they have liberal behaviors. They're not really conservative enough to stop what they're thinking. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop man from thinking about the sexual urges they have. That's true. But these dudes don't know how to adapt and change. That society don't give a fuck about us like that. So you gotta know that America's built like that, especially black men. You ought to know that the world's against us like that anyway. So we gotta make our moves a little different and stop trying to be more than you are. You don't want to hear that shit. Just gotta learn and move forward. I get tired of people just talking about the same shit because they're bored. But dude, you're fucking trash ass hoes. And shouts out to George Maker for saying that. Like, he's been there. It's doable. It's you niggas are scared to do it. It's called the attempt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get tired of that shit after a while. Yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Because Dick Thug, you gotta understand, these niggas is losers, man. That's all it is. And shout out to George Macon once again. And I'm glad he said that because I was watching his stream that Day Against Black Family. He talked about this Charleston White, how he summed it up in that stream. And I want y'all to look at that, the ones y'all missed it. I felt like that's a great topic to talk about. At least Charleston White shows he's a troll and a clown. And I kind of stopped listening to him in 2021 and he was just went off the rails. I thought he had somewhat of a message. I was just being ignorant at the time. I thought he was just somebody different, but then come to find he's just like the rest of these. I learned my lesson last year with him. This year he's gotten worse. He's being reckless, and you know how it is, and YouTube co-signed it. They co-signed it, but that Facebook is dangerous. I don't fuck with it. You got a lot of hackers out there, and they do the same shit all the time. So it's pretty much you're seeing shit all over again. So you got to be mindful of what's going on. So I gotta look and see what's going on here, but you know, I'm gonna get my little sound check right here. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off real quick, and then we're gonna come over here. All right, yeah, I'm talking with y'all in the handheld right now, so hold on for a minute. All right, so I'm leaning back for a minute in the chair. Yeah, you know, a lot of these dudes, they expect change for certain people. They just like they're gonna change the world, try to change these females. You can't change what they think. The women change their minds like razor blades, kind of like you swap out guns all day. That's how they minds think. But a man don't change his mind unless it's necessary for survival or whatever. But a lot of these dudes, when they get on panels, where I've noticed this 2 years ago, and I noticed last year, it's like a religion, and I call it the PPT effect. I call it the propaganda prophecy tropes. If y'all pay attention when I did this on Sunday Madness, it's the same old religious shit they be on and a ritual, how to change these women, how to get them back. All that. Niggas, stop it. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Same old circle jerk and double talking like y'all have always done since the past 5 years, and y'all ain't expand. This is why people laugh at us. This is why people laugh at the so-called black man. That's why the government's been watching black men for years, but y'all ain't doing nothing. They know y'all not a threat. It's certain video game messages how they treat I don't use Franklin example. The guy that played Franklin, he played him very well. But if you paid attention to the characters that have the baby blue dots, the people that have conversations, there's this one racist character. His name is Grift. He had that red, white, and blue flag, right? It's American, racist, right? And he had to tone up real quick when he saw Franklin, got scared because he wasn't built like him. He was a fat slob, ain't built like shit. I'm gonna use this example. And Franklin, he said, "Oh, y'all not the problem no more." They don't even respect Franklin, and Franklin didn't catch up on it, and the guy that played him didn't catch up on it. Subliminally, he didn't respect him enough. He feared him physically and psychologically, feared him physically and psychologically, but not intellectually, because he knew they wasn't a threat. He said, "Y'all not the problem no more. Hell, we worrying about somebody else." See, actually, they're cowards. They don't want that confrontation with us, and that's how white folks get down. That's how they always been, and it's been like that since 10 years and prior. Now you're seeing it now after the pandemic. They don't want no work. You see them going to war in Ukraine. That shit ain't working. Russia's been through, and that country's gonna be destroyed once again, like the fall of the Soviet Union back in the 90s. Come on, man. It's a repeat of the 90s all over again. It's just the same shit, different spin, different people, different day. But George is saying it's possible to have a black family. He has one. It's doable. It's just the problem is the internet is not the answer. It's just a time steal to see where you're at. And 2020 was like a great reset. Then the next year was a double reset. And then you have the quadruple effect reset of this year, because this year is the governor's election and Senate election, right? 2 years later, you got the presidential election again, 2024. See, 2023 is going to be different. It's going to be what you're seeing now, what 2021 was. But 2024 will be the year where you're going to do some shit. It's going to be the year you're going to do some shit, right? And that's the thing, because once you start doing some shit, you understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like you understand that's the thing that you're going to have to talk about in the future, right? So when you have things like that, you don't worry about anything much. That's the thing. You got to understand something. Some people are going to be on this trip and say that nothing is possible. Everything is possible. You just got to make that shit work. A lot of people say you can't be in a relationship with no black family. I say you can. I mean, stop dealing with hoes. Stop dealing with hoes. It's that simple. Stop dealing with hoes. Oh shit. Barry done went out. Yeah, Barry done went out. Battery done went out. Sorry about that. Dog acting crazy. Yeah, it done went out on me. Didn't say nothing, even no message, no nothing. I'm gonna use this bag for something. Use this bag I'm gonna use that other bag for something. But anyways, I'm just sitting here talking. I gotta get edified with y'all. But yeah. I'm gonna move the batteries out the way. I got another battery, so I'm gonna put it in my pocket. I'm throw 3 batteries away. Shit. Everything is yeah. Get my controls right. But that's what I'm saying. But these dudes, they just want to cry and complain all day. Now I know people don't like me to use the word complaining. They have a right to have the issues, but complaining like this for years and years about a problem that there's other things to think about the world besides the vagina. I mean, I'm sorry, nobody's got time to listen to that. That shit was cool when you talk about those issues and marriages. We get it. You know, that aspect, people talk about that for years and years, but these dudes refuse that because they've always had problems. They've always been losers, and a lot of people don't care anymore. And we see this stuff all the time. It's most men don't have time for that. They have other things to talk about. Now, the political stuff you're doing, media and things, that's great. But the relationship and the sexual aspect, you already know it's over. Like, that's something we got to change, or what are we doing wrong, or how we look at society and we move forward. Now, the women come around. It's okay to critique them all day if they come to our shit. We critique them all the time, but we ain't gonna just argue about it and just, I critique the Pineapple Show because I feel like the dudes is on there. It's not the women I go against like Melly. No, Melly's doing what she's supposed to do, and the hoes that she put on there, the guests, so called guests, they're doing their thing. But I want you to know, y'all get tricked by a nice face and a nice ass or whatever. They got y'all that voice, and there you are. Shouts out to Todd City and Ramil for that, because they let you know they do this all the time. Now, Little Cutthroats got mad about Sister George, about certain shit and certain history. I've seen him since 2 years ago. He was brand new. Little Cutthroats screaming and yelling. He's like, I'm done. That nigga. And he's like, I cut your throat. I'm done. That nigga's hilarious, man. But he's insane at the same time. He ain't gonna do shit. Little bitty cue ball ass motherfucker. Talking all that bullshit. But it's just like, I see what his MO is. He just got to stop doing the shit. You know what I mean? Because I need niggas like him to just chill out, man. Like, man, get your life right and get your mind right. And that's basically what I'm saying. But you got dudes like that all the time. So that's nothing that I can help or stop. And then niggas just act crazy, But that's what Little Cutthroats is. Everybody's watching football. Y'all enjoy it. That's great. I love to see that. Men watching football. They supposed to. Oh, the Falcons? They whooping the 49ers ass? The Falcors? Oh, Lord. The Ravens beating the Giants. I'm not surprised. Ravens should beat them. Patriots should beat. That ain't no game. Minnesota beating the Dolphins. The Dolphins. They need to go sit down somewhere with that bullshit. Tom Brady and the Steelers neck to neck. Yeah, Tom Brady's got the ball. They probably gonna win that one. And that's just how it is. You just gotta look at what the stuff that matters, and so to speak. But when you're talking about this stuff, you understand what's going on, right? And you have to understand that this stuff is going to matter to most people. So when you see this stuff all the time, you expect that. But a lot of dudes, they complain about the same shit that they complain about, but don't want to change it. And shouts out to George Michael for saying it. And it's true. They don't want to change shit. They just want to complain, but they gave him the solution. He gave him the solution. Everybody else gave him the solution, but they don't want the real solution to be is how they're going to change their societies. You know what I'm saying? How they're going to reinvent what they're doing, right? So it's the same shit I see all the time. So they got to stop doing what they're supposed to be doing all the time. So, you know what I mean? But I'm going to step away real quick. I'll be right back. I'm going to go on mute. I'll be right back. Yeah, yeah, I'm back. I'm back at it again. But yeah, it is pretty much the same. Like they say this stuff all the time, but when you're talking about these dudes and they talk about the Mansfield stuff, and then Duke the Don was talking about how they act crazy and stuff. Well, Duke has to understand a lot of these dudes are losers, bro. Like you have to understand the stuff you're talking about matters, and then they don't do the research and all that stuff. Like when you talk about these so-called Mansfield dudes, these mainstream Mansfield idiots, yes, content. Yeah, he showed their pictures, and then he talks about Lord Marquardt and all that other stuff. Like a lot of these dudes, they're lame, bro. They ain't about that shit, and they've been fake for years and years. And I've been saying this decades ago. And y'all act like they something. I never fall they bitch asses. They ain't really about shit. It's just when I see their content, I cut that shit off. I go on to somebody else. I do it all the time. I cut motherfuckers off, and they say, "How you unsubscribe?" You cut them off. You get them off your fucking subscription list. You cut these motherfuckers off. If they shit is garbage, if he ain't saying nothing, get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But I'll change up every now and then. I'll do a stream. I'll do that. And systematic racism show. I show y'all shots, and I show y'all links. What I post. I do research over here. I research all the time and do my own research and study and analyze. I'm an analytical thinker, and what I do is I try to see. Um, I see what it is. And Brownsburg said, "How did Biden? How Biden just played his own supporters? Oh yeah, yeah. He's conservative. I try to tell y'all, he don't care. He's a Democrat. Democrats have always been conservative. Y'all have to understand that. That's just part of the game, bro. Y'all got to get hip. I've been teaching this shit for a minute. Yeah, it's pretty much it. But shouts out to She with the share. But it is what it is. Uh oh. Uh oh. Interface talk. Uh oh. I got a Julian Krause. Uh oh. He gonna criticize the apogee. And he said, why? Yeah. Today, Japanese tennis player Naomi Osaka turns 25. Oh, who cares? But shouts out to Two Raw for TV. Yeah, she turns 25. Yeah, ain't nobody caring about her. She's was she a Libra? Ain't nobody caring about her. Nothing was stopping me. Nothing was stopping me. Oh, Anton, you're a boo boo. Go sit down. Ain't nobody listening to your ass. You go sit down. On this day, 1996, actor Jason Bernard passed away from heart attack, and he was only 58 years old. Oh, I seen him in movies. His name is yeah, Jason Bernard. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Jason Bernard. He played in a lot of shit. That dude's wild, man. He played in a lot of shit. I grew up watching him in older movies and shit. Yeah, Jason Bernard he was a fool. Shit, that dude played his role very well. He played and he died when I was 8 in 96. I know he's 58 years old back then. Wow. He been around a long time. He been in several movies. He died with a heart attack. Zip him up. Yeah. They try to say Kanye West is the G word. Nope, he's not. So Keisha Cole's birthday was yesterday. I didn't know that. And they said she turned 41. She was born in 1981. She was 40 last year. Oh Lord. This girl she's okay. She's okay. I'm not a fan of her music like that. I mean, she has some good songs every now and then, but ain't she from LA, y'all? Ain't that girl from LA? And correct me if I'm wrong. Or she's from the no, she ain't from LA. She's from the Bay Area. I believe she's from the Bay Area, one of them areas. She's from California. I think she's from the Bay Area. Her music is okay. I wasn't big on Keisha Cole. If y'all please forget, I wasn't big on her. I'm tell y'all right now, I was never big on her. Never. She's decent. I don't think she know Whitney Houston or anything, but Keisha's Keisha. I ain't seen her done a lot. You know what I'm saying? But the play by play reaction. Yeah, let me check this out. Yeah, I want to see somebody get pissed. I'm an Eagles guy, so I gotta see this. He said, "Whoa, is Mr. Dog here?" That's Rosenberg, Ken Rosenberg. Y'all got 6 hours on that shit. That ain't even worth that. Y'all on some bullshit. Y'all on some bullshit if he's on that. Y'all on some bullshit. We don't give a fuck about you. You. We need to stop it. At the auto. Yeah, I always hit that. My thumb is loose like that. Dun, 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 dun. And but that's how you look at it. That's how you look at it. But yes, it's an hour. We're gonna go on to the next hour because I know it's gonna be 2 hours, and it's a 2 hour thing because we can cut it. I'll talk to y'all another hour in a minute because the first half of the hour we just talked about Charleston White, and then we talked about my man George Macon, and I post this. That's the link by the host, right? That's the link. Okay. Look, we found it up here. Okay, if y'all didn't come through, but check that video out because he was talking about Charleston White and he was talking about that. And I was watching it. I was in the chat room and telling them and agreeing with certain people. Like I dap people up like I always have. And that's my thing. I did that 2 years ago before I did the live streaming thing, because I always pre-record or whatever. So it's pretty much, I've seen this a lot. I've seen this a lot. So it's like you see this stuff and then you just expect people to come through and actually see what's going on. I see this stuff a lot. But when he was talking about old boy, like, yeah, Charleston White's gonna be a clown, man. And that's just what it is. I'm not trying to worry about anybody else and just expect nothing for it. You know what I mean? And that's how I'm gonna look at it with him. Now, do I agree everything he said about that Trayvon shit? No, that's just my viewpoint. I'm not gonna get emotional about Trayvon Martin's death and all that stuff. I mean, his dad was suspect, was around or whatever, and someone probably told that boy to kill him or whatever. We don't know. I don't believe he just did that maliciously. Some people believe that. Niggas believe that. I don't believe that. Nah. The way his dad didn't show no little remorse, I've said he did. Technically, I don't think he did because some pictures say he showed that little remorse is real. To me, I think it was fake crying or he got some type of sinus or fake waterworks. I don't believe it wasn't sincere. His tears, a lot of people try to say his tears was sincere, but no, to me it wasn't. I have a different belief on that. I'm not gonna get into that with you niggas because that's what I saw decades ago. I don't believe that. It was certain information. Did not like hearing it. And then the next year after that, I just couldn't fuck with dude, man. Because a lot of people say I was crazy saying it. No, he's on the other side, bro. He don't give a fuck about that boy. And then you never heard nothing about it. He never talked about him again. Now he got a tattoo I saw from Black Ink about his son, whatever. Like that ain't gonna change the fact that you didn't do shit when your boy was alive. So I'm saying like y'all gotta stop fronting. Stop pretending like that shit didn't happen. It happened. That's why you got a lot of fake fathers out here, man. Now, if that was my kid like that, that's fucked up. I don't have none right now, but it is what it is. Oh, what the fuck? Did I put this on entertainment? No, 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 no. This ain't entertainment. What the fuck? The fuck? Yeah. The fuck I'm doing? Like, sir of Evergreen, calm down. The fuck did I just do? I just realized that you caught me for saying it. Everybody saw the entertainment lane. Nah, I took that shit off. I ain't entertainment. Fuck that shit. Cause I know I'm gonna get the playback what it is. It's nonprofit over here, nonprofit. Do my own thing. But I know people ain't gonna listen to me because they say he ain't asking for donations. I don't need nobody's donations. I don't. I don't do this for donations. I came here with no donation at all. It is what it is. A lot of people believe in donations. I don't believe in that. That's what you niggas do. Shouts out to the ones, I won't say this. Shouts out to the ones that do believe in donations. Do I get mad at them? Hell no. That's y'all's thing. If you have different purposes of helping the community, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. It's pretty much I see this a lot. And I understand that that's just what it is. And it's just like I don't understand. Like, but you got niggas talking shit, man. Like that's all they're gonna do. They're gonna talk about the situation, what's going on, and everybody's trying to say the master. This y'all need to get off this PPT bullshit. Get off this propaganda prophecy tropes bullshit. I'm gonna have to do a stream about that. Get off that bullshit. You niggas ain't doing nothing. Get off that shit. I just don't get when people act crazy, man. I don't get that. I don't get why people just learn to chill out and then y'all know y'all fucked up or whatever, right? I just don't get the fact that people just not going to change who they are on here anyways, but it's just like a lot of people try to say that it's helping them. It's not really helping them that much. It's making them look ignorant. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, I turned the other one down. I can speak into that one if I want to, but if I want to unplug it, that's going to be a hassle for me to unplug it. Yeah, just keep it like that. Yeah, I keep it unplugged. Unhook it for a minute on my end. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I had to unhook it. So it's pretty much it. So yeah, yeah. I know y'all hear me loud and clear, but it's just what you see is what you get. I know people are upset and they just like, oh man, this nigga's acting crazy. But that's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it. Because normally you just go in here and act crazy, and you be like, all right, this shit is wild. But yeah, it's been some crazy shit on the internet. But a lot of niggas ain't talking about nothing. I'm just nothing interesting. Everybody's acting weird, and you know. Well, shouts out to Nate. Why do Native Americans team up with Pan Africans to attack the true Aboriginal? I'm gonna cut this dude off. I can't stand him. Guy, get that Feds wearing bullshit off my shit. I tried. Like, get the fuck off my channel, bro. Yeah, I share this shit, and if it asked me, I did support him a little bit. I tried to thought he was. They're all the same, bro. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. Take that Feds wearing bullshit somewhere else. It's a lot of lame fucks on here, bro. I have to get off my subscription list. I get tired of that after a while. That shit gets old. Like, you wanna expand, but you just get tired of that after a while. That shit gets old, and you be like, ugh, Here we go again, like motherfucker. And it's just like you want to expand that. I understand people don't like who on here, but that's just the shit that we got to deal with. That's just something that we have to understand that most of the things is on here. We expect that. So when we see that, we're just gonna look at it for what it is. I'm not tripping. You should not be tripping. But it's like the same shit that we see all the time. So we're not really worried about nothing. Let's see.
Yo,
Hey, what's going on?
what's going on? What's going on, yo? What's good?
What's good?
Chillin', man. You said take that Fez win bullshit somewhere else.
Yeah, man, they get on my nerves. I had to cut dude off. Like he was good on the Charleston White until his emotions with the I'm indigenous. No, 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 sir. No, I can't do it. No, no, no. I tried. I can't. Can't. I don't know who's worse, them or Seti. I don't. These dudes get on my nerves every time. It's just like 10 years ago. I went to war with them and they just went crazy. They're just annoying, man. I'm telling you, man. They so lost. I said I can't be listening to that. They ain't letting nobody speak.
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy,
mean,
man.
I mean, them cats, man. They're responsible for sending a lot of people to jail with that jurisdiction nonsense. What they call that? That
UCC.
the UCC
Even
and
the Aboriginals, they do the same shit. If you really think about it and listen to their live streams, you'd be like, "Oh my god, y'all doing the same thing those do." No, bro, no. Go ahead, Wacky. My fault.
yeah, what's that? I was looking for a word. No, no, you good. But there was a word that I was looking for. Uh, wow. What they always, a lot of them talk about, not all of them, but a lot of them speak about where they say they have their own jurisdiction, that they're not a citizen of the United States of America.
Uh huh. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
UCC.
yeah, yeah. UCC and all that other stuff. Listen, and that gotten a lot of people in jail because forego, when people forego their U.S. citizenship, but yet are not a citizen of any other country, you better hope you don't go to jail because if you're not a citizen of any country and you get arrested, then what happens, what the United States government does is they place you in a certain jail for, to get deported. But since you're not a, but if you're not a citizen of any country, you're just going to be stuck there. Because what happens is in America, when they deport prisoners who are from other countries, the government from their home country has to pick up that person. They have to deport the person after they've done spending time in prison. And the government of that person's original homeland has to then pick that person up and bring them to their country. But once again, if a person is not a citizen of any other country and forego the only citizenship that they have, which is their US citizenship, therefore, if you get arrested, you'll be placed in the deportee list, but you'll never be able to get out because no other government will claim you. And that's one of the dangers of having that sovereignty cry. That's what I was looking for about that more
Yeah, the
science
sovereignty.
sovereignty.
Yeah, the sovereignty thing. Yeah, it all goes together. The UCC laws, the sovereignty nonsense. The rednecks did it for years and years. The so called white people or so called white supremacists, they try to do that shit and it didn't work, and they got locked up and they're doing federal time like the gangsters. They actually put you in Colorado too and leave you there for 23 hours a day, and that's what they end up going, and you're just stuck there for a lifetime. It's fucked up. I mean, it's the CIA and the feds do it all the time. Homeland, they all do it. NSA, they all do that. And if you do that overseas in that country, they're gonna leave you there. America does the same thing. They
Yeah,
just don't call it that. You know what I mean? Because they so liberalistic slash capitalist as they are, because they got nice homes and gated communities. They do that. They just don't report it. Now, other countries that are conservative, they report that. They let you know, look, if you go against them, they gonna you gonna be in that cell forever. It's just like in Caribbean countries, they don't play that shit. You have to pick a
Yeah,
side or else. Your people knows that. Everybody knows that. Like that's common sense if you really study law and history and stuff. They taught me that in seventh grade. You got to be representing, in some form or fashion. I mean, even if you don't represent their laws, represent some country, please. Don't
yeah, you
waste people's time.
you have to. You have to represent some country and be a citizen of some country. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, with this whole, these fest wearing motherfuckers, they got people so caught up and so full in their indoctrination to the point of fact that you got people foolish enough to think they could go out there in these streets and drive without a license plate or a driver's license. It's like, dude, no country in the world, as far as I know, will allow people to drive an automobile without a driver's license or license plate. And then and these fez wearers try to utilize their quote unquote sovereignty to try to justify not driving with the license, not driving without a license plate. I'm like, see, that's what got that stupid ass chick killed. Corin Gaines in Maryland. Remember that in
Yeah, I remember
2016?
that. I remember that.
That's what got her dumb ass killed because she bought into that shit. And
Yeah,
then when she and then what happened with Corin Gaines is that she was supposed to appear in court, but she never showed up. So since she never showed up, a police came at a house, giving her a subpoena, right? Because if you don't show up to court, the court has the right to subpoena. Like if you're supposed to show up to court and you don't, the court have the right to give you a subpoena. So a police officer was going to Corin Gaines' house to subpoena her. She thought the cop was gonna knock down the doors and grab her and her children and shoot and kill them. So she grabbed her gun and started shooting at the cop. So there was a shootout where she got killed. See, but the root of that stupidity, which got her killed, unfortunately, was from her buying into this fez wearing sovereignty bullshit. Now her son has to grow up for the rest of his life without his mother. See,
yeah.
basically, what I'm trying to say is that people buy into some crazy shit without carefully analyzing and using critical thinking skills to see if what they're studying make any sense.
Right. And they do this all the time, and I try to tell them like last year and this year, the stuff that you see these niggas come from out of the so-called conscious community, a lot of them have the teachers of the Moorish Science Temple. A lot of these dudes infiltrated the so-called manosphere, modern manosphere, or black manosphere, because I try to tell Kuda, that's the shit that y'all was teaching. Anytime I hear a person say they're indigenous and they claim their sovereignty laws, that's what Tariq Bey and Tariq Nasheed, they own that type of tip. That's what they're on. And they're anti-Caribbean too. And I've noticed something, that's what they did. You're doing the same thing, and then the next thing you know, like you said, driving on a lifestyle. I remember several instances people got locked up for that. They got locked up down here in Georgia for that shit years ago. I try to tell you, it's the same history. It's nothing new under the sun what they do. And I tell people this is why people track y'all down on the internet. They already got us on some other shit, speaking the truth. But y'all is easy. They don't even have to. The feds don't even have to do nothing. You make one mistake, you're out of there. They got you because they know what y'all about. Y'all love scamming people so much over the years. What are you doing? And I see the teaching pattern, and I was subscribed to his Aboriginal, but I thought he was a little balanced, but then I said to myself, nah, I can't listen to this dude. He's just like them. Like I see a biasness in him. Like if you're going against Pan Africanists, you're no different than they are. They see the Pan Africans, the difference between them and these guys, they believe they're African, which you're not. Africans know you're not. They know you're Semitic, but they don't respect you as a whole person. Even they know you're not indigenous. Like, come on, man, quit kidding yourself. You're from the East. You from the desert east, like what you would say Africa or everywhere else. That's where you come from. They know your roots. These people are not stupid. They just they, they're onto y'all scams like that. And then I said, look, they try to offer me that shit years ago. I said, nah, I turned that shit down. Like, get out of my face with that bullshit. But it is what it is. You know, people gonna teach that, and you have to be careful if they teach that indigenous stuff. That's what they think the same way. Ain't no team up, nigga. Y'all think the same way. If you really listen to their speeches and shit, and you're like, oh my god, here we go again. I'm a Native American. I said, no, you're not. That's a made up term by the white man. We know that, but you claim you're Aboriginal. You gotta be careful with that too. Like that ain't
Yeah,
y'all. You ain't the
yeah,
Aborigines. You know, most people know you come from the East and you're Semitic and your history goes back to King David and all them other people a long time ago. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's us. You know, they know that now. They don't say nothing, they just know. They don't have
yeah.
to tell it to you. They'll show you what you is. They just let you act dumb. That's why the Heavenly Father is so smart. He allow you to fail till you get it, and the rest of them just gonna perish again. You know, it's just me and the other we was talking about that years ago. People still blind about it, but you can't change the people that want to be. I'm indigenous to this land. That's true in some sense, but you're not an Indian. I'm trying to get you out of here. None of that. That's just what they want to call you. Whatever. You're still a black man.
I
You
mean,
just don't know you don't know your history very well.
the thing is, they claim to be indigenous, right?
Hmm.
But even the quote unquote indigenous people of this land came from the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So either way, you're. I'm not talking about the. I'm not talking about those mixed mongoloid looking indigenous people because there were black indigenous tribes here, and there were the ones that the mongoloid looking motherfuckers. I'm talking about the so-called black indigenous tribes.
I know what you're talking
They
about.
go back to the lineage of. Say
I
that
know
again.
what you're talking about. You're talking about the days before Columbus, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly,
Okay,
precise,
I got you. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
pre- precisely, exactly. Yeah. So even they come from, and even their history will tell you they've even admit that they come from the lines of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So at the end of the day, you came from the east and sailed west.
And there's
You know?
artifacts to prove that. Like my channel is based. Shouts out to that brother.
Yes.
Like he breaks it down. Like it's a lot of stuff. Now the darker ones look mongoloid. They're different because they didn't like us because what happened to them. Now York was trying to mix that. You can't do that. See, that's what York got his teaching from. He thought we're those people. No, 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 no. We're from the east. You're slightly close. You're slightly correct. You know he's a pedophile and stuff, but he's paying for it. But these dudes subscribe to his teaching. People forget all these guys came from MSTA. Him and Elijah Muhammad, they had the similar teachings. If you really listen to the stuff they talking about now, Malcolm was against their teaching. Later on, he figured out it was a hustle. So the people up top and them had him killed. They just didn't want Malcolm to tell the truth. Malcolm knew the truth. He just didn't know how to say it then because the world wasn't ready for that. They
Right.
they they wanted him gone. Same with King. They saw Martin Luther King. They said, "All
Right.
right, nigga, you a boule nigga. We control you, but you fuck around, we get you up out of there." It's the same thing. All the leaders was
Right.
killed for a certain reason. That not because they're Pan Africans. They knew the truth because of what Malcolm said a long time
Hmm.
ago, and other people, other scholars, and you got Brother Dawood was saying about certain guys getting killed by the same people. So again, everybody knows what's going on. And George Macon recently, I can't talk about the people I work with. I'm trying to help my own people. They ain't gonna let you, George, because Esau's gonna know. He knows you're right. They know they're lying. They just ain't gonna tell you they lying. Because I try to tell George Macon, look, they just don't care, bro. Like they showing their hand as we speak. They losing this shit because anything can collapse right now, no matter if it's election or whatever. Everybody's panicking. They don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Because Elder Young was talking about it in certain prophecies that he read and certain I read in my own and you read. And we know what's happening because you're seeing a shift. The white man
Right.
is not valiant, whatever you want to call him now. He's not, no, nobody's feeling him. Look at the war in Ukraine. That's a great example. Russia's deteriorating. They ain't got nobody ally with them to fight. They're struggling. A lot of people think they wouldn't. No, they're struggling. It's several reports, man. It's not good. The white man don't have no option. He's like, well, damn, I got this war. Yeah, but you can't draft nobody.
Even I read an article where it talks about young Russian soldiers are trying to communicate with the Ukrainian government, asking how can they properly how can they properly forfeit, because they want to forfeit, because a lot of people,
Hmm.
even within the Russian military, are tired of this war. They're even fed up. So they're looking to, according to the article that I've read, members of the Russian military are looking to negotiate with the Ukrainian government on how they can forfeit without having to face prison time or death. you
Right,
know,
right,
and,
right,
and,
right.
and
Hmm.
going back, and I want to go back to what you said about, a lot of these teachings within the fake pro-black community is rooted within the MSTA, like Dr. York, the Nation of Islam, which is 100% true. Even the 5%er, because remember, the nations of gods and earth, no disrespect to anyone who's a member of the nations of gods and earth, but the nation of gods and earth is rooted from where? The Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
The Nation of Islam is rooted from where? The MSTA.
MSCSCA.
MSTA. And years ago, I was reading somewhere where it stated that Fard Muhammad was the chauffeur of Noble Drew Ali, you know,
Yeah.
and
He's
and
actually the student of Noble Drew. That's his teacher.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah. I
killed
was about to say that both
yeah,
him,
yeah.
both him and Elijah Muhammad were students of Noble Drew Ali.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I haven't read where Fard Muhammad was so close to Noble Drew Ali because he was Noble Drew Ali's personal chauffeur.
Hmm.
He drove Noble Drew Ali wherever he wanted to go. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's right. And then before his assassination, what you call Noble Drew Ali, he knew the truth years ago, and they had to get rid of him. It's three theories that people have. He was assassinated by his own people, or some guy blew the back of his brains, a police officer hired by one of his own, or whoever oversees, or the top killing him, because he died somewhere fast like Garvey. So again, like you're correct, because a lot of these leaders went through that. They died. It ain't by no accident. You just don't hear about it as much from amongst the bigger black community, but they did exist, and they died for a reason. And nobody ain't saying nothing about it. Just like I told you that Charles White don't care about that Trayvon shit, because we don't know what his dad said to that boy Zimmerman. We don't know what happened. I'm just saying that's just one theory that I have. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm just saying his dad didn't act like he didn't care about the boy. He pretended he did, but he don't speak to him and praise him like that. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna get a tattoo of my boy on my chest," and I saw that on Black Ink. I said, "Dude, that's not how you celebrate your son. At least talk about him in a book or something." But because I heard he had some Masonic ties over there. And that's kind of weird. Your son getting killed by a half, Edomite or whatever, Latin person. Zimmerman knew what was going on, but I don't think he was that aggressive like that. That man he wasn't frightened. He just did, but someone told him to do it. We may never know what happened to Trayvon, because knowing the family, they always want to keep stuff buried. And then I told George, look, you gonna have a bunch of Charleston whites talking bad about our own like that. That's not new. He's from Philly. He ought to know that. That's just done by design. And I like what he said about the history of killing each other, like the modernized killing started in the 70s, even though we was doing it back in ancient time. But the modernized shootings, yeah, he brought statistics about Philly and New York. It was like 100. He said we ain't forgot about those. That's true. That's true, George. That's true. See, they get it. We get it. It's just how you're gonna, solve it, but you ain't gonna stop it in one night. That takes time, man. I can't save everybody.
Yeah,
You know, let's go on roguish.
I mean, me, I'm a. Oh, go ahead. I'm
Let's go
sorry.
on roguish. Go ahead, Wacky. I'll just salute somebody.
I'm a big fan of Charleston White. I love the brother. Shoot. Yeah, I love the brother. I'm a big fan of him. Fuck that. Because a lot of the shit that he says is true.
Yeah,
You
he's
know.
right about the gang killings and stuff, but I know he gets out of hand. But I'm kind of neutral to him. Like, I'm not a fanatic of him, but I understand what he's trying to do. Now, I like what he said about him being honest. Like he told on himself. He said, "Look, y'all got to shut me up," and he's bold for saying that. Now, people may say he's crazy, but he's bold for saying that. Now, he doesn't surpass Star with the craziness. Now, Star's reckless too, but these are the type of guys they like to troll you, but they have a message. So again, you can't just be righteous like me because they want my ass up out of here. But Charleston got it. Y'all gonna fight him for hours. But some people like him. I'm not saying they crazy to think like that, but if y'all like him, that's cool. But I'm just saying I'm neutral towards him because Charleston, man, when he first started out, I thought he was for the youth, but no, he's doing it for something else. And he figured, let's attack the rappers. Now that's been done before, but it's gonna be very interesting what they're gonna do to him in the future. But I think Charleston will be fine because YouTube don't care. As long as he does what he does, he's good. I don't see no harm, no foul. But I'm just saying, I'm not for what he said about the youth, but I wish he would show a little bit more. But everybody has their issues with the youth. I stay out of that argument because the youth need to learn something better. I know Charleston's harsh. He been into the penitentiary. He used to be a gangster. That shit is dead. I mean, if I was him, I would move on from that. But Charleston wants to make that money. I get it. It's entertaining for certain people. Them rappers don't like it. T.I. don't like it. But that Hassan Campbell, nah, you can't have that cosign. If I was Charleston, stay away from that nigga. That nigga is crazy. I ain't like Hassan Campbell like that. But if he just be Charleston White as the what do you say? I'm the yapper. Okay. I heard what he said. He said, I'm a yapper. Okay.
But let me say this. Yeah, I got no problems with Hassan Campbell. I got no problems with him. Even I may not agree with every single thing he says, but I don't have an issue with him. But the thing with Charleston White, right, is that I don't view him to be some sort of activist or revolutionary. I view him to be an entertainer. He is a public figure on social media slash entertainer, and and that's his purpose for speaking to entertain, right?
Yeah, that's his purpose. He said it.
Which
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Which I do have an issue with that because if we're going to if we're going to go online on any public square to speak about issues concerning so-called black people, our intent is to try to change or help improve the conditions of so-called black people. So that's where that's where I sort of don't really agree with Charleston's white intent, right?
Right, right.
But a lot of shit that he says is true. The thing is that, this is what I find it funny with a lot of these rappers or these other so-called black people coming after him, right? Like you literally got people who try to attack him for his opinions, but yet you got all of these Caucasians who done blown off the heads of black people, who done killed black children, and them motherfuckers walking around alive like a motherfucker. But yet these little rappers are supposed to be gangsters and tough guys. Yet George Zimmerman is still walking up and down the streets alive as hell. Daniel Warren, the one that shot and killed Mike Brown, he's walking around. Nobody's doing harm to him, but yet they want to do harm to some 5'4" troll that just go on the internet and talk shit. To me, I think that's some cowardly shit.
Yeah, you have a point right there. That is some coward shit. But yeah, he's just a troll. Like that's how I look at him. That's how I look at him. But you can't change it. I understand where George coming. I understand where you come from. But as black people knowing us, we'll never get nothing done attacking the trolls. Just like Star, he's doing what Star did. He just bold enough to say that these guys are soft, and which they are. I agree with that. That part I agree with. Now you can't save every gangster. And George said this on his stream. He said, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Now that part I agree with what George was saying. They doing what they're supposed to. They're being ignorant. He didn't want to say it, but if I was just go and say they're ignorant, man, because niggas ain't gonna change. They talk about females all day. They doing the same thing in the street. It's the same thing. And I said earlier in my stream, look, that shit gets old after a while. When are you gonna change and adapt your ways and learn different? And women will come back to you if you change. It can happen. Yeah, you got a black family, George, but 9 to 10, these niggas ain't hearing that. They just laughing at you. at this point. Now, I ain't shitting on George Macon. I mean, he's got good content. He has a different perspective. Do I agree with everything he says? No. Like, he has a different way of looking at things. We have different beliefs, whatever. But when he said something about Charleston White was telling, yeah, Charleston is an entertainer. You just can't look at him as a activist. That's what he say. He's a character on the internet. He said that. Now I agree with him. He is a character. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not gonna fall for his activist talk. Now he is an entertainer. He is attacking the rappers like he's supposed to. To me, he's doing what he's supposed to. Them rappers are useless. They're not helping nobody. And he's the opposition. That's all it is. Star was one for how many years? Probably 10, 15 years more. He's taking Star's spot. Charleston White is doing what Star used to do. That's all I see him as. And he looks like Cat Williams in the face. He's from Fort Worth. He has a history. And he's just airing these niggas out, and niggas can't handle it. That's what it is. But you got old niggas like him that crazy. Like, you can't take him serious half the time with the activist talk because he does get drunk on there act crazy. But that's what he does. I mean, he's from Texas. I understand. And people clown him too. And then, he'll let you speak. One thing I can't say about it, he will let you speak. If you speak your piece or whatever,
But,
he will let you speak. He's the only
but
guy that's wild like that.
but the difference between him and Star is that, for one, Star's an actual radio personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he started off doing actual radio here in New York City. I still remember the first episode of Star and Buck Wild in New York in Hot 97, right? That happened in the spring, or like late winter, early spring of 2000. I still remember that. Used to do the morning show over there, right? Um, yeah. And the thing is with a Star, don't think for one moment you could run up to Star in the street and actually start something with him, because
Yeah, I know.
Star got some
Yeah.
Star got some dangerous people behind him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Star really did some gangster shit. There's a reason why mainstream New York radio don't fuck with him anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
he
from Jersey.
he
I know where
he
he's
ran
from. Yeah. Yeah. He's a
yeah,
Jersey nigga.
he from Jersey. He ran up on nations and had shootouts and shit. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He told me he if you watch his channel, he tell you about Philadelphia. He was fighting white
yeah,
boys all the time. Stars Bowl, he lives here in Georgia right now. He can
yeah,
even tell you himself he carries guns by himself. He don't need a lot of people. He'll use them when necessary, but he keeps them on the back end if it gets real serious. Now the game
yeah,
got scared of that nigga, didn't want none, and he said, "Let's talk it out in court." He said, "I don't want to say nothing." And Game back the fuck up. And you never heard Game say nothing about dude's name or whatever. All these rappers on one. Now Charleston White on the other hand, yeah, he's got the blamish too, but it's not like Star, but they're entertainers. I compare them as entertainers because they have that voice. Now he's been on interviews. The difference with Charleston, you're right. Charleston is like a interview guest, but he's trying to get in radio. But if he look at Star's history, he was in radio. They can do the same fucking thing. If Star ever have him on this show, they're very similar. It's just they have a different way of talking to people. A lot of niggas don't like that. I mean, I have family members like that in my family. Some of the Star and Charleston White and stuff they don't like to hear. You know what I mean? And I'm one of those people, but it's a lot of people that's better than me in that acclimate. You know what I mean? Because them niggas, they don't want to hear that. But you're right. Yeah, Star has a lot of stories. Yeah, you can't run over him in person. And you're right. Because a lot of niggas know better. Even though he's from Jersey, I forget what part of Jersey he's from. He's from that, and I know he's half Neapolitan Italian, even though that
yeah.
don't
He
make no
half
difference.
Italian, half black.
And his dad's from St. Louis. He said that, and that's quite accurate. And he told his story on the show. So I watch the show a lot. He talks about a lot of stuff that how fake these rappers are, like
Yeah.
him and Charleston, all these other guys are similar to him. They don't hold nothing back. Okay, they got receipts. Yeah, they troll, but they got receipts.
Yo, yeah, they got yo. I just recently knew that although although Star is from New Jersey, he lived in New York at one point in time and went to this high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I know about the high school kid. I'm like, wow, he went to that high school? Oh shit. Shoot. The high school that he went to in New York at one point in time was one of the worst high schools in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. It was one of the worst high schools in the city. It was the same high school that 50 Cent went to. LL Cool J went to that school. Yeah, Andrew Jackson High School. Yeah. I'm like, I know about that school, man. Damn.
He talks about it on his show, like the past shows I watched years ago when I wasn't doing content. I was watching his podcast and his stream and his radio. He was talking about that for years and talk about niggas. And then when he lived in Philly, before he came down here, he said he was going to donate to come live in Atlanta because it was thriving down here because of the tech and all the other stuff in radio. In Philly, he always had fist fights with Italians, white folks, niggas, and because he's different than everybody else, and he always had to deal with that growing up in Jersey. So him being from Jersey, because the way y'all states are connected to each other on the map, it makes sense. Like y'all used to that shit. That don't bother him, especially when he lived in Philly. I said, well, damn, I don't know. But I knew Star was crazy before he had the guns. Like I didn't know he was. It was like that, like that. I said, "Oh shit!" And when he said it himself on the radio, I kind of believe him. I said, "Yeah, yeah, he's one of them type." Yeah, because I don't blame him because he does go by himself every now and then. He's bold like that, and he'll let you know in the heartbeat. He'll let you. I said, "Well, damn." It's like that Star. I was like, "Damn." He tried to use his laughter as a bluff, and I understand why he's like the way he is. I understand him. I understand him. Most people don't understand. He's, man, I hate Star. No, Star just want his space. He wants his personal space. He's a spacey guy. He ain't got time people run up on him. He done been there. He done got hit by a person one time before he had the guns. It was in a club one time. He mentioned, and he didn't draw back at that person. It was a nigga. It was crazy, but he was high on something. And he talked about his coke history. He talked about his alcohol history. He's
Yeah.
got a new liver or something, by another race, but it don't really matter. But it works. He had that surgery. He talked about his surgeries a lot. He talks about himself every now and then, but he don't go in depth
Yeah.
why he does it. But he's telling people, if you do that shit, that's on you. And then he talked about the woman's gynecologist shit. Like she don't tell you if she's older, if you're married. That stuff is real. They let you know that the girls he done dated, he done show you. He's got more experience what he done seen on all ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think he got married once. He mentioned, I don't know if he was in a relationship or whatever, but he ain't had no kids. Now his
Yeah.
brother Buck Wild did or whatever, but he's crazy. He said, I can't even deal with him because he's high all the time. But yeah, I always listen to his show a
Yeah, but
lot.
he's like,
Yeah.
he's like in his 60s, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's up there.
He's in
Yeah,
his
he's up
60s,
there.
man. That dude look
Yeah.
very young for his age, man.
Yeah, he took care of his body. I mean, that's the genes of the black gene, a little bit of the Italian gene. He took care of himself. He knew. He did his research. This dude does his homework.
And plus, he has no kids. That's
Yeah,
really less stress. That's really gonna keep you looking young, man.
yeah. And not only that, he ain't worried about the pussy as much. But the good thing about him, he's an entertainer. Yeah, he's a troll, but he lets you know he's a troll. But this dude will let you know, look, this is who I am. And he's honest. Like, you cannot say nothing bad about him. Now you get annoyed about the racial shit, but who cares? Niggas talk bad about you so all the time. His political views is different. I disagree with him on that. Like some things, I just let him be who he is. Star don't bother me. Just bad. I'll take him over Charleston White any day. Charleston White is new to this. He's a little older, but he's more from the Fort Worth. Now I give him Dallas and Fort Worth conversations all day in his car. How he talks about Dallas and Fort Worth all day. I let them have that conversation. I don't argue with that. If he wants to tell me about Fort Worth and Dallas, he could be my guest. I want to know everything about how good and bad it is, and he'll let me know it is what it is. Because there's a lot of people like that. You need content creators balance it out to have differences. Then George is from what? Philly. He does something with the urban nerds, and a lot of people don't support his urban nerds because it gets less views. But George, hey, I done been there. Less support is usually you got real supporters. Them dudes just want entertainment.
Yeah,
And he figured
yeah,
it. He
because
figured it
yeah,
out. He
because
figured it out. So
yeah, because he's not about the fuck shit.
yeah,
He's not about promoting fuckery. When you come on YouTube and you do not promote fuckery, you're not going to get a lot of views.
that's facts. That's facts.
It- it's just that
That's just
simple. When you promote buffoonery, fuckery, soap opera, drama, and the art of so-called black people making a fool out of themselves, when you promote these things, oh, you'll get a lot of views. You know, the algorithm will love you to death.
Oh yeah.
Or if you do grifting, complaining, bitching, crying on the internet about the opposite sex,
Oh yeah.
you know, and promote this loser's mindset, you know.
Right,
Oh
right.
yeah, the algorithm will love you and promote misery and pain. The algorithm will love you to death, and not only will the algorithm love you, but there's a plethora of people within the viewing audience who is looking for that sort of thing, because some, I just realized that people enjoy enjoy um pain as entertainment.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying earlier in the stream. They love pain more than they do actually fixing a problem. I think George said something in the stream when he talked about the Charleston White. He said, "You see how the views don't went down?" I said, "Yep." And I saw in the chat room when he speaks his real truth, they had to leave the chat room. And when they say that and other contents I'm subscribed to, it like they have to understand a lot of these niggas ain't about who they say they are. They want change, but the very complain. They want the pain. They're addicted to it. They love pain. That's why I don't say nothing to people in the chat rooms and panels no more, because I let them know that's what y'all love. It was cool at first, then that's a you problem. It ain't always that person. Yeah, she calls it, but it's a you problem. You got to fix that because you got to stop liking them. That's what makes them go
Right,
crazy, because you gotta. It's a counter react. You cannot play their game because you play their game, they got you psychological. That's psychological damage. They
right.
got you.
Yeah, it's not even about not liking them to make them go
Yeah.
crazy. It's about not liking the wrong type of female for your own
Right.
sanity,
Right.
for your own benefit. Because as a man, you're supposed to want peace. You're supposed to want a better, a better way of living, or a better quality of living. You're supposed to desire true happiness, but you can't desire these things if you're pursuing a hoe, excuse my language, or if you're pursuing the wrong type of female that's going to be a liability to your life. And that's the thing with these individuals. They're a glutton for punishment. They're a glutton for pain. They're crying over the same female that they're constantly chasing after. And it's like it just starts by stop chasing after that female or that type of female. It's common sense, man.
Yeah, straight common sense because they don't understand. Most of them don't have it, but the ones that know, they ought to know that. And then I was looking at Duke the Don talking about the Sneeko character getting banned. Well, that's pretty much normal with those guys, him and Andrew Tate. There's a lot of dudes like that. If they would just realize you don't fit the mold, they pick and choose what they want, and that's YouTube and Google. Like they want to complain, but you want to be back on here. And there's going to be some changes with this site too, because I've heard some stories about certain ones about to be moved. I don't think Sue's going to be moved, but it's a possibility because you don't know how this political shit's going to come in 2024, because that's what they're looking at. They're not looking at it for YouTube or Google's benefit. They're looking at politics like that. So politics been tainted on here for years. So if they get what he said, they could be successful on Rumble. I said, Duke, they're not going to be successful on Rumble. They just going to have some good numbers. That's it, because they need YouTube as their mainstream income to be. There's no such thing as YouTube success. You're correct, because you said earlier in the chat, and the only way you can get that so-called success, you're going to have to be in mainstream media or have some type of backing to say the shit that you're going to
Yeah.
say. That's how Alex Jones get away with his own website. If you don't have that,
Yeah.
how you going to thrive on these sites? You know what I mean? That's the only way
I,
you're going
I,
to get around that. So
I was just about to say that. I'm like, listen, if you claim to be a content creator and you're of truth, you got to understand that there's a point in time where you got to have your own website and have your own hosting site, just like how GenerationX.net used to be
hmm
when it when it was up and running. 1.0, I'll let people know. Black Mansion 1.0 didn't play that shit. When the YouTube did that first Flagging Wars, what did brothers do? They got their own website.
yep.
you know, they got, so now you have your own. You can control. your own content. You can control what you say on here because you have your own website now. You make your own rules. And free speech Avenger was supposed to be what black what Generation X.net was until you got these sick motherfuckers that came into the website with their porn and uploading videos of so-called black females getting killed and shit like that. Like that's some stupid ass shit. But that's
Mm-hmm.
one no, I don't. Yeah, but yeah, it's like okay, yeah. But going back to what I was saying about these dudes complaining about these females out there, it's like okay, I remember a point in time where people had a little bit more common sense, in which when it came to a female that was a whore, you knew what to do with her. You know that either you don't associate with her, right? Or if you're going to, associate yourself with that type of female, you know that there's only one thing you could do with her, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got these dudes on here complaining. They want to change these types of females. They want to make these types of females into housewives. You're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And now we got this concept now where people want to change the so-called modern woman. You're not going to change that neither. The
Facts.
so-called modern woman is going to be who she is until she decides to change. And most likely that's going to be never. You're not going to change other people on here. The most you can do is find like-minded people that you can coexist with, that has the same way of thinking and same perspective that you have.
Right. Right. That's the only way. And then females like that is modern or programmed. I call them programmed, socially programmed and socially engineered.
That's exactly who they are.
They're done. There's nothing you can do about it. And
Thank you.
that's just the way it's gonna be. Even the most high change certain things, they gonna perish. And that's just how you gotta look at it. And you're right, because I knew this years ago when I was younger, when I was dating, and I figured that out a long time ago. So that's the stuff that people got to understand. You cannot change a female. Only you got to change yourself. They respond. Only way they can change, if they see you doing great, they have to compete with that, but they have to live with it or say, "Well, damn, he's a real dude." But the ones that ain't gonna change, that's too far gone, let them perish. I mean, the scripture said, "Let them." You gotta let people perish. Same with dudes. So it's like that. They don't live long. They think
Listen,
they do,
if
but
when a man, okay, if a male becomes great, right, and becomes great and accomplish great things, what he's supposed to do is expose himself to females of different parts of the world and different cultures that possibly have the same value system as he does. You get what I'm saying?
hmm
Yeah, because when you're great, well, I mean, I know you said, I respect your opinion. You said, if a male is great, then that's going to put females in a position where they have to play catch up, right? What I
yeah,
say is once a male becomes great, then he'll be able to attract other great females who are great, or
hmm
females who can make great wives, or he can
right,
put himself in a position to be exposed into different environments where they make unfortunately this westernized black American environment do not create good wives for the most part. So being great and getting our shit together can put us in a position where we can expose ourselves into environments where they create better females. And that's my opinion. But
that's fair too. I'm not against neither side. Of what I'm saying is it's okay to do that, but you got to look at yourself, and then you create better environments. You're right, because I'm trying to tell these dudes, look, you can't talk about the same whores that y'all want. You can't wife them. There's other better females around. I would say from a little bit of the Caribbean, a little bit, or other places, and or here. You got someone coming here to you that's not like that. Just don't let it get brainwashed by. Black Pride used to say this before his content was taken down, and he said he had an Ethiopian wife. her head got swelled up with these hoes in the Western, him and the American women, right? And he said, just don't let it get caught up. And then I had to agree with him, yeah, because it's hard to find someone like I don't think it's that hard to find, but it is hard to find the ones that have your likeness, your compatibility ones, like you're saying, but it ain't easy.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah, it
easy.
ain't easy. Oh, and I want to respond to someone in the comment section, Degenerate Sharon, where he said,
Okay, I'll
that
post
you
it
may not
above.
like today's culture, but you're going to have to adapt. No, I don't have to adapt to shit. See, this whole adaptation stuff, I'm against. And Michael Matroke said we have to adapt. No, we don't have to adapt. See that? See, okay, right? I constantly hear that statement, and I tell people that you have every right not to adapt to anything that is unrighteous. So no, I'm not adapting to shit, especially when it comes to the types of females that this environment create. I'm not adapting to that shit. I just stay away from it.
Yeah, I stay away from it too. When I'm saying adapt, I'm not saying like adapt to they should know. I'm saying if you're going to be in the society in their eyes, they're forcing these type of females on you. So fellas, you gotta remember, if you're trying to be famous to this shit, I try to tell them niggas over there, that's your adaptation. Now, if you want a different adaptation, don't deal with them at all.
They can't.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean they. I mean, you use force. I respect that, but a motherfucker can't force me to do shit, especially when it comes to the type of females that that I'm with. Nobody can force me to be with a certain type of female. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I get what you're saying though. But
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying too, because I'm saying like, yeah, I know when people use it, they have to put it in context. What do you mean by adapt? Do you mean to these females? I'm saying don't adapt to them. I'm saying adapt to not dealing with those females. Adapt to the ones that are right for you, because it's not going to be easy. Because you got to learn that they're going to exist. These rappers love them. These complaining males love them. And it's just like a religion. I'm like, why do they love these hoes so much? Oh, I see. That's what they want, but don't understand that they're designed to act like that. You know what I mean? By the media
yeah,
and whatever, and it took me years to understand this at my early age in my 20s. I'm 30 something now. And I look back at it now, I say, well, I did the right thing because I didn't have to deal with my ex like that because we wasn't get married and have kids. I mean, she had thoughts, I had thoughts, but I knew it wasn't gonna work out because she had problems. I tell my experience all the time. Look, that stuff was long and gone. After that, I'm looking at it's the same old shit. They've been programmed, even the younger ones. So
you saw the
some men,
game.
yeah,
You saw the game for what it was.
yeah. And I've been red pill for like that for years. I'm on the darker side now, but I understand that these things ain't gonna change. You can't force them, and they can't force me to change. I change when I get ready if it's something good out there. But if it ain't working, like what's they saying? They always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I just leave it alone. Sure.
Right, right. Thank you. It's that easy, man. It's that easy. It's not hard. It's that
Yeah.
easy. And the thing is that we're not supposed to force anybody to be a certain way. So the most we can do is leave them alone and find those who are like-minded, especially when it comes to this relationship shit. Like,
Right, Dejan. We get what you're saying. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. You probably worded, and I see what he. Yeah, similar to what I'm saying. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Wacky has a perspective like we ain't supposed to adapt to them. No, I don't agree with that. I say adapt against them and not try to go for their ways. And you
oh,
got to understand that these females are gonna come towards anybody. Then
yeah,
they try to use you for shit, and they do this all the time. And like, you're not using me for nothing. Just
okay,
because I
then,
got money, it's just because I got a lot of money. You're not gonna use me. Say ain't gonna like that. So they want you to play along and be a whatever. I'm like, no, 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 no. You're not gonna
okay,
use me for that.
okay, but thank you for clearing that up, Sir O and Degenerate Sharon. And thank you for clearing that up because I guess I misunderstood what Degenerate Sharon was saying in his initial comment when he talked about adapt. You know, okay, be able to get around, or well, okay, well, I don't know. Well, Degenerate got to clear that up some more, because I get where Sir Obadiah's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Adapt to the adapt to the fact that, hey, listen, you're going to have to be single for a long time, or even forever, and but which is better than being with a damn unrighteous female that's going to make your life miserable. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's what Sir Obadiah said. You have to adapt to that life, adapt to that
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that when other people online, or other black males online use the term adapt, it seems to me that they're saying to be accustomed to having these types of females in your life, or accept having these types of females.
It's
That's the reason
called.
why.
Oh,
That,
I know what you mean, Wacky. You mean
yeah,
like when they say pump and dump and adapt? No, I don't agree with the pump and
right,
dump thing. That's
right,
that's a loose way of doing it. That's the easy way out. And here's why I
yeah,
look at that. I
yeah.
laugh at that when they say that. That's not we should not. That's that part of adapting got us in trouble in the first place. That's why George Mix
Thank
said
you.
he did that years ago when he was young. That shit didn't work for him. That's why he found his rightful wife that was compatible in thinking like him. And it took him a bit. He got multiple kids. He got a son and everything. That's why his channel is the only one I could say shows himself and his family, and that's it. Everybody
Who-
else don't do that, you
You
know.
want George Macon?
Yeah, that represent the
Oh,
B1 guys, but he talked about his family. He posts his family a lot on his channel.
yeah.
I've yet to see another black man in this certain spaces. Like he said, yeah, because you're the only one doing it. Because George, you're too honest. You used to be that gangster lifestyle and left that shit. You reformed. Most black men are not going to listen to that. Now, the guys he try to help that's in the gang like that's younger, that he does have videos that and show them, look, he's I'm just gonna love and just show you respect and just let y'all do your thing. And he said there's a better way besides killing each other. Now he has helped some. Now the ones he can't help, he just don't speak to them, and that's all you can do. And I've done the same thing for years and years, and I have to agree with you. You do the best you can. Some of them are made to be socially programmed. We can't save them.
Yeah,
They're not meant to be
yeah,
saved, and he even said that. So him and our other content, the more I listen to him, I'm like, see, that's the stuff people need to listen to. But see, they love the relationship. It's like a religion. Let's get these toxic hoes. Like, no, 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 no. We ain't doing that. No, no, no. We ain't doing that. No, sir. Mm-mm.
yeah. Check this out, sir. Like earlier today, right?
Mm-hmm.
I checked out what's this girl's name, Danica Marie's live. She did a live earlier today, and I just checked it for like maybe a good 2-3 minutes, right? And
Mm-hmm.
she highlighted a comment that one of her subscribers told her, right? In which one of her subscribers, I think he's a male, he told Danica Marie, and I'm only paraphrasing what he said, but he told Danica Marie that she should open up a school to teach modern women on how to be good wives. And when I read that comment, I'm like, here we go with this pathetic shit again. You know, trying to change a female who is socially engineered to not be a good wife. And it's like, and I keep saying, I'm like, these motherfuckers don't realize how much time and energy they're wasting on a female that has been programmed to be anything opposite but a wife, and for the most part, they'll never change. Just leave them the fuck alone, man. But like you said, bro, they love them. They have an obsession with with the so-called modern female. You put it
Mm-hmm.
you put it well when you said program females, because that's really what they are. Program females, man. They so in love with them.
Yeah.
It's a,
And it's like a religion. Every time I go on cool as shit, I know he's an entertainer based off content creator where he's trying to do podcasts. I try to do, you cannot save a lot of niggas, no matter what age they are or my age or whatever. If they love these women, you cannot save them. Yeah, you can ridicule and clown them all day, but these niggas, it's like they're Christians, right? They have an addiction to go to church. There's a lot of ass in church. I left that shit when I was like 21. I realized what it was. It's
mm,
really not that hard. It's just the same thing. It's online, and Char Willis said this a couple months back when she was on my panel and talked about those YouTube churches, and that's exactly what I was saying. It's like that PPT thing, the prophecy propaganda tropes, and they love these tropes of these hoes. Like, you got to stop. This is the reason why Melly Monaco exists. She's the new Kevin Samuels of the female version. She's just a matchmaker. She's damn good one. She had some good matches, and then she had some bad ones. But she's there to entertain, and she even said it on a recent what you call it, the pineapples on both shows, and she said it every time in code. I was like, oh Lord, now she done told the truth about us. So I was like, oh hell, and them niggas was getting tight in the chat. I said, no, she just being honest. She let you know. She just don't come up here if you ain't talking to the girl. You know, she let you know you gotta cam up, you gotta do all that shit. She trying to get famous, and like my prediction said on time, she gonna get that million. When she get that million, pay up, pay up, and they don't want to hear that. You know, it's she's good for now, but she tell your ass to pay up. Now what you gonna do? All of them are gonna do that eventually. It's just they love these modern hoes, man. But Twitter, I said this, Twitter and Instagram is the same thing. You try to talk to them on there, they crazy. And I don't say nothing on neither of those things. You know what I mean? I just keep myself a distance. I have like my troll account. I ain't gonna say nothing to them because they get triggered. I made that mistake when I did on Instagram. This one white girl, man, she had a fit.
Wow.
Had a fit worse than you went because that's all what they are. You got to be careful because no matter what color the women are, they're all programmed like that. You can't change them. And I said, dude, hope for the well. I wish you well for your journey if you want to mess with them. But that's it. I ain't anti female or anything. I'm just saying it is what it is. It's just you can't get mad when they do stuff like that. This is what they do.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I mean, well, okay. A man with any common sense would understand that they should not associate with these types of people. They should ignore these types of people. You know, that's what you have to do. Like,
Yeah.
and invest your time and energy on things that are much more better and much more substantial in your life. It's a waste of time focusing on some brain dead female who's very immature. They're insane in the brain, and oh boy, and they're all sorts of crazy. But it goes to show you that a lot of the males online, they have a very low self-worth. They think very low of themselves because if they actually have any self-worth and believe that they're worth of the best, they wouldn't associate with them females neither because these types of females are low tier female dogs. They're low tier. They're bottom of the barrel. It's like when you pick up the garbage bag and that juice that come out from the bottom of that garbage bag. That is
Hmm.
a lot of these westernized females. They're that juice that comes dripping out the bottom of the garbage bag. Why would you
Hmm.
want anything to do with that?
Yeah. Just like low tier hanging fruit, but that's just what they are, and people just gotta understand they gonna do the same shit over and over again, and then you just gotta understand that most people are just gonna be who they are, and you see it on all these sites, and dudes got to be careful. And y'all talk about them, well, they don't care. They've been not caring, just like Tasi said. Yeah, they never care. They don't give a fuck. That's why they had their own underground website. Salute to them for that because you helping more people get into your spirit. Because a lot of people just don't understand that this stuff happens all the damn time. Like this ain't nothing new.
Yeah, it's not nothing new, and like you said, they're they don't care. They're gonna always be who they are. So once again, you have to learn how to leave them alone and just move forward with your life. And when it comes to this relationship stuff, males have to put themselves in a position to do better in life. Well, you have to do better in life because as a man, that's what you're supposed to do. Once again, you're supposed to care about improving the quality of your living. And in order to do that, you have to be productive, right?
Right.
That's That's the main reason, and you have to be self-reliant, because the more productive you are in life, the more self-reliant you are. And as a man, you're supposed to be self-reliant. So, that's the basics of survival. But at the same time, what it also does, once again, it puts you in a position where you can expose yourself to other environments, where you can find females from these other environments that may be for you, you know. But and leave these leave
Oh,
some
Might
sort
be
of
had a
self
point.
worth, and these
Yeah,
people think low of themselves. But go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. You had a great point there, but that's how these dudes operate. And like, I'm glad I did this stream today because my shit's working now because they had a little issue with their streaming. I'm glad they got that fixed. I was like, man, I thought I wasn't gonna use it because I had to use StreamYards the other night, Thursday night. But I wanted to talk about that Charleston White with George Macon was going against the Trayvon Martin thing. But black people should not worry about that because we don't know what happened to his death. His death is like a mystery to me. I'm gonna call it a mystery because I don't know what to believe because his dad was cool on them Masons on the other side, and then he acted like he cared and he got a tattoo of his son years later. Like, dude, you should have been grieving more. You don't want your child to go first, but I understand that knowing him is he's on that other side and he tried to front like he cared. But dude, man, like you didn't do nothing to Zimmerman. Like that's weak, man. That's a weak father right there. But people defend that. Like I can't defend that. That's why I don't talk bad about his family. I just let him live because we don't know their situation like that. Because I want to see more evidence. Were they involved or not? Because Zimmerman, to me, y'all act like he's untouchable and shit. No, he can be touched. He just I don't know. See why y'all picked that dude. I'm like, oh my god, killing a boy like that, and we don't know what happened. I'm just gonna say it like that. Some people say, yeah, we got the audio, but we don't know what really happened. We didn't see no pictures, no video. If it ain't like Eric Gardner type killing, that's the level Trayvon Martin was. See, his wasn't televised. See, it's like, what if? Where's the pictures? We heard, yeah, we got the audio, but where's the pictures? You need more than just audio. Because when
Yeah, I heard.
what you call it, Eric Gardner, when he was choking by that cop, man, that was rough. And then George Floyd, see, you want something believable, you know. You gotta show it to the people. You can't just, I understand audio's evidence, but still you need pictures. I prefer the picture. That's my preference. But go ahead, my fault.
No, you good. You good. Nah, you were still speaking, so it was my fault to try to, because I shouldn't have even tried to interrupt. So you were still speaking, so nah, you good. But okay, yeah, I heard that a long time. Like ever since when Trayvon Martin's death was still fresh out in the news, I've heard, people saying that death was was some shit. You know, even back then, I've heard people say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I try. Yeah, I
I
try
mean,
not to touch on it because it's a mystery to me. I don't know what to believe because one minute they say this, yes, he was killed by Zimmerman, but I don't believe he was aggressively. I don't know if he was paid to do that, and he's trying to say I was protecting the gate and floor. Ain't nobody having security like that and having a gun like that. They told him to stand down. He wasn't gonna stand down. Somebody must have. I hope no one that's paid that. I hope that ain't true because if it ain't, if I find out it's some dirty shit, ain't no telling what he done said to him with the law enforcement. Knowing that type of person like he is, I said, yeah, something ain't right about that. Even though he's dead, he's murdered the way he was. And, we can't do nothing now. The man's gone. It's kind of like Emmett Till. You just don't know. We don't have the video.
yeah,
We don't
you just
have the pictures, and I try to tell George, we don't have that. If it ain't like Eric Gardner or what's his name? Damn, what's his name? Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. Like, yeah, we can marinate that. So it's like it's hard. Trayvon's the hardest one you can try, and then that dude got away with it.
but
That's how white folks
but
play. You gotta see it, give us the whole video. That's how they think. You know.
but then again, Sir Obiyahu, right? Is like
Hmm.
every police murder is not caught on tape. No, well, but what you call it, George Zimmerman was not a police. I'm saying is that every
No,
murder
he ain't.
is
Yeah.
not caught on.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, but once again, every murder is not caught on tape, and not only that, but I never saw a picture of Trayvon Martin's dead body.
Me neither. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. I can't touch that case or speak on it because I don't care for his family like that because they didn't give a
Yeah, I
damn.
can't
I
touch
mean, they
that.
act like because they act like they gave a damn, but in my mind, they don't give a damn. Like if you really give a damn, you should have did something to George Zimmerman, but you didn't because he gets to say, "Oh, he
But
harmed
what?
me, and I didn't do nothing." Like
But what
it's
I'm trying.
that weird shit. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
but what I'm trying to say is that yeah, I've never saw a picture of his dead body. I'm not saying it doesn't exist,
Hmm.
but I've never seen a photo of it, But at the same
Right.
time, though, it's like I don't know. In order for some, okay, in order for someone to say that, like I said, I've heard of this conspiracy coincidental. It probably was secret society type shit. But in order for someone to stand on that, someone would need more proof to actually prove that. So that's why I've never really, but I've heard that theory for a long time, but I've never believed it because there's not enough proof. And I don't know to see,
I gotta see the
like,
picture.
yeah, there's no proof. There's no proof of that, of that conspiracy theory being true. And not only that, but in my eyes, when someone, comes, what I, how I see someone, what I see when someone you know, stand on that theory is that they're trying to water down how crazy George Zimmerman is. George Zimmerman, to me, come across as someone who's mentally ill and who shouldn't even be carrying a motherfucking gun. All right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks a little unstable, but I mean, he's not. Well, he may not look crazy, but he is unstable in mind. I can tell how he talk. He look
Yeah,
basic,
yeah.
and it's just like the sad part about it. They didn't do nothing to him. The family had a finesse feeling, and I didn't see no urgency, and that shows you right there that's suspect. Even though, see, the reason I can't touch it, I gotta see the picture. Were they involved? Or was he involved? And someone told him to do? Because he's the type of person. If you tell him to do something, he'll do it, and he won't stop. They try to tell him stand down. That boy refused to stand down. He said, "No, I'm just gonna
But
shoot." And I
but
was
then
like,
again,
"Whoa, shit."
check this out, Sir O.
Hmm.
The family of Mike Brown didn't do anything to the police officer that shot him. The family of George Floyd didn't do anything to the cop that killed him. So it's like a lot of these so-called blacks that gets killed by other races of people, their families don't really take matters into their own hands and try to rely on the justice system in order to get some justice. So I don't believe that in Trayvon Martin's when it comes to Trayvon Martin because Trayvon's family didn't take matters in their own hands and got George Zimmerman. That means that they must have done something or they must have been involved. I don't believe that. I don't believe just because a family of someone that has been slain try to use the justice system instead of taking justice in their own hands means that they are automatically involved in their family member's death. I refuse to believe that. I just don't believe that conspiracy theory is true, even though I've heard that for a very long time. But there's not enough evidence to prove that to be true. And not only that, but George Zimmerman has a history of violence and has gotten away with it. And one reason why is because remember, a lot of people forget that George Zimmerman's adopted father was a very powerful judge in that county. People often
Yeah,
forget
that
that.
too. Yeah,
Yes, so
and not only that, he
understand it. Hold on for a minute. Understand
okay,
this. When you are the child of a very powerful person, you can get away with a lot of shit.
of course.
Yeah, so being that George Zimmerman has a history of violence, right, and getting away with it. I believe that this guy felt invincible. He felt invincible to the point in the fact that he felt that he could come to Trayvon Martin the way that he came to him as. But go ahead, I'm done.
Yeah, but really, he ain't that invincible because people fucked him up in the past and stopped pulling him over. There's instances that police didn't even protect him. So that judge, that father, yeah, the only reason he got that protection is father because he's part of that culture too. And I hate to say that about his people, but that's why I say F Esau and them because y'all part of that. And of course he's gonna get protected. Now, if his dad, now this is what I heard about his dad be part of Mason. He is part of that, but I'm not saying he's like official, but he's a part of that little clique. But he ought to know that George Zimmerman's dad, like you said, that he's a judge. They're not gonna protect. And I like what George Macon said. Anytime you try those people and Esau and them, it's because they know they're wrong, right? And they ain't gonna let you know they're wrong. He said, well, they can refuse you to give freedom of speech rights or whatever. And George said something very particular in the video before he did the Charleston White video, and I was going to speak on that Thursday. And he said, the reason he got flagged for it or whatever, or they sent him messages, or whatever, he took the video down and they told him, they came at him sideways and told him, look, and his partner told him, like, you can't say that because the Urban League's on your head because they got a lot of power. They take your 501(c)(3) charter away and all that stuff. And I said, yep. Yeah, there's certain things they'll let you get away with a lot of shit, but they won't let you get away with the Holocaust, like the Holocaust, whatever. It's that type of shit, similar with Zimmerman and with his murders and shit like that. I ain't gonna say his murders, but he's got a history of that. Person ought to think, listen to his name. It's obvious. It's just like, how can he get away? And it makes sense now because I'm not really mad. That's why I don't touch that case because we don't know what went behind that killing,
And,
because ain't no telling. It's sad
I don't,
though.
It's sad, but I don't believe this is no Illuminati Freemason type of shit. I don't believe that shit. I just believe that it's just a person who came from a family of people with some power. Therefore, they felt invincible to the point of fact that they felt they could do whatever the fuck they want and get away with it, especially when they have a gun in their hands. That's all the case when it came to George Zimmerman. He felt powerful, he felt invincible, and he felt he was able to approach Trayvon Martin in that level. And Trayvon Martin wasn't having that, and and probably snuffed that nigga. I believe a fight happened. You
Yeah,
know,
the fight happened. That's what I believe. I'm
I
not
believe a
saying
fight.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't think that it's some secret society that's behind that. I believe it's just one insane individual who felt he was powerful until he got snuffed, and then he
I,
took his gun out and shot him.
I'm not
I believe
saying a
he's
secret
into that.
society did it. I'm just saying, like, no, they're a part of it, but I'm saying they have nothing involved in the killing. No, I'm saying, like, don't be surprised that he probably has some connections the way he was in that neighborhood to do that, to kill that boy like that. Like, you have, like, I've never heard of watchmen protecting a gated community. The gated communities I've seen in Georgia, they won't let you do that shit, but only in Florida where he was at. And you just never know about Florida. Florida's weird like that. In Georgia, do some shit like that, you doing some time. It's no
Yeah,
way because, but
yeah, but
see, his dad's a judge. That's
that's what I'm saying.
suspect. That's suspect right then. Then that's why people come with the conspiracy thing with it because don't be surprised, like George Mikan said, they challenged him on that Holocaust shit and they told him, look here, say what you want, but we
That
gotta
has nothing.
do and then they drop him down a peg. He had to take the video down. His partner told him, look, the Urban League's on your head. Like, you may say some controversial stuff. They let you slide on it. But the thing is, he had people they trained their people to say that shit to us. That's Esau, of
I,
course, and
I
and
don't.
it's
I don't
sad.
believe.
It's sad
I
though.
don't,
It's sad though.
yeah, but I don't believe in that stuff, man. Just because his father may be a judge, no, is a judge or was a judge, doesn't automatically make him a mason. That's one. It doesn't say that there's some masonry involved. No, it's just that once again, when when you're a judge of a certain jurisdiction, you are a very powerful person. right? You're gonna be. This has nothing to do with no masonry or all that
No, I
other
ain't saying he's a
bullshit.
Mason.
It
I'm
just
just
has it
saying like
just has
he's a powerful
to do
judge.
with
Yeah,
political power, man. Because when
yeah,
you're a judge, you have political power. And once again, Zimmerman's father was a judge, right? A powerful judge in that county. So
yeah.
once again, he felt powerful, which is why, to me, it didn't make sense for that county to try George Zimmerman. Because remember, when George Zimmerman went on trial for the death of Trayvon Martin, it was the county, that specific county in Florida, that charged George Zimmerman with the crime. Which to me, I felt that that shouldn't have happened. That should have went to the state. The state should have took control of that because being that George Zimmerman's father was a powerful judge in that county, it would have been a conflict of interest if the son of a
That is a
powerful
conflict.
judge
That is a
would
conflict
be
of
tried.
interest.
So the
Hmm.
state should have took over. So, and that's why when I saw that Zimmerman was being charged by the county for the death of Trayvon Martin, I'm like, nah, he getting away. He ain't gonna be found guilty.
Well, the reason he got away, you like you said, it's the county. Now, if it was a state, he wouldn't have got away. If it went to,
Right.
if a district attorney says district attorney determines what goes out and what does not go out, and they have a right to, they do that to everybody. They do that to us automatically by racism. They do this all the time.
Yeah.
And I never trust a district attorney unless he's fair. You know, the ones that are fair, you don't usually see them on TV. Now, the ones that's on TV, that you got to question them. That's what's fucking up the country. And I tell people, if you want to change the policies in Congress, go to your district attorney, judicials. They determine what Congress say and does, especially military. I think Serena said this all the time. Every branch is different. Marines, that's the president. That's next to his arms. They do everything. Navy is kind of like the Senate. I think Dre said this in him, and yeah, because they in the Navy. That's the Senate. They like the district attorneys and all that shit. Now the Congress, on the other hand, you just don't do shit. You just like the Army. Then the Coastal Guard and Air Force, y'all kind of like the tail of everybody else. So it's like that's how they function in court outside the military, outside the people. That county was foul, you know. But if it went to the state, yeah, he would did some time, and he'll probably get a lighter sentence. But that guy that killed George Floyd, he ain't getting out. Oh, he ain't getting out. I ain't heard nothing from him yet. Now I know he's probably going to. I don't know when he's gonna go to trial again because I don't know if they extended or whatever. Because I ain't hear nothing about him after
Oh
that.
no. Oh, check this out, bro. I think the feds charged Derek Chauvin, the guy that killed George Floyd. So he's going to
Hmm.
serve federal time too.
Damn. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
in
the
there for
federal
a long
government.
time. Yeah.
I think the
Woo.
feds actually gave him it's yeah, so
Mm,
the Fed
mm,
so he got charged by the state of Minnesota, or not the state of Minnesota, but that county in Minnesota, right?
mm,
And
mm.
he got Fed time.
Damn.
So after he finished doing his time in the, in Minnesota, he's gonna face Fed time. So
Damn. He ain't getting out, and that's why I kind of pissed off until I gave him that nickname. He said, "Fentanyl, yeah, keep saying fentanyl Floyd. That dude, that white boy's doing time." I was on Arthur Newstall's channel one time in the chat room. I said, "Dude has no idea you lost, man." And then Ahmaud Arbery, that and them dudes, one of the family members is doing a lot of time. And I mean, Georgia didn't want no riot. They didn't want no bloodshed on Thanksgiving. I said that outside of my stream of this house, and I told him, "Look, white folks down here, they don't want a lot of bullshit. So you do your shit, that's good. But there's a black guy. I think my dad told me he know how to beat their system, and it's corrupt, and in certain aspects, and he done figured it out. And they said how he does it. Well, he understand how people work down here. Look at the politics with Herschel Walker and Warnock. Now Warnock, he ain't a perfect preacher or anything, even though he's on the other side. I say he can win the election real easily because Herschel Walker's got those domestic charges. Like you're a Trump guy, and most Georgians don't like Trump guys because Trump kind of lost the election, and then Georgia's kind of divided on the issue. Now you got this woman, Stacey Abrams. Everybody hates Stacey Abrams. Well, she's better than Kemp because Kemp ain't doing shit. Because Kemp ain't doing shit. Because I already know he ain't gonna last. Because he's anti-Trump. So you got some Republicans don't ain't gonna vote for him for that. So his back's against the wall. He got to do something with those ads and shit like that. I told dude, you're not beating a woman that's not pro-black. She said it. She said it. And the reason she's winning, she's pro-abortion. That's all it is, because a lot of women on both parties gonna vote for her, and he's done. I just don't see him and Herschel winning that, because the Republicans gonna have to rethink. Georgia's gonna be blue, Florida's gonna be red by itself, and everybody else might end up being blue, because we don't know how the Senate and this election and the district attorney race is gonna be, because they determine what says goes, and men cannot play by these women. If they get in power, that's it. You can't say what you want, because they're gonna make laws. Like, they're not gonna go crazy, because they know how crazy men can be. If you say something online, I heard this in California. I heard this from Brothers Love's channel, and I think Kuda shared. He said about the dick pics thing. I don't think that's gonna happen, because ain't nobody gonna vote for that. Especially men. Now the women may, but them whores like it. Like I said, it's just ridiculous laws coming out of the woodwork. I try to tell you, it's that 2024 election. They try to see who's going to be the next president, who's going to be the woman that's going to take the throne. It's that anticipation they want. That anticipation they want in 2 years. That's all this is built of. And if I find out if a woman's running, no matter what party, oh, it's going to be hell breaking loose, because people will be like, say, oh, they ain't going to do nothing about it if she's, no matter what her beliefs are, but it's going to be inevitable. It's going to have to deal with it. It's going to have to deal with it. I mean, I ain't going to deal with it, but I'm going to have to deal with certain laws if they bring. You have to be mindful. Us men, well, black men in particular, we ought to know that, but the other men better be careful. Just because they got us, they can get your ass too. They ain't playing. Like, these women ain't playing. They're emotional right now. I get what they're saying, but I don't. Do I agree with everything? Say hell no. They on that craziness. You can't trust a modern woman. They use that as a weapon. I have to be mindful who I talk to on here, because you don't know what they on. So yeah, I try to tell dudes, just don't argue with them. And that's the worst thing you do, is when you argue with them, they got you. They think you're these dudes out here, toxic masculinity. Don't get in arguments with them. The worst thing you do, don't argue with them. Especially not laugh at them. If you're joking with them, just be careful and just walk away. If it turns into an argument, don't even do it. Just kill it. Just kill it. I learned that. I think my first ever job that I have down here, I learned that lesson. And it was an older rich woman. I learned that lesson too. I was a little younger then. I was in my late 20s, getting older, and learned that lesson, you know. And I shouldn't have done that, but I did it anyway. I was a little arrogant at the time, but me knowing now, I can't do that because they sensitive now, because when they got the laws changed, I'm like, here we go again. Yeah, because you got to be careful, especially on the internet. I told Kuda to leave that shit alone. Talk about women all day is not the future. That's not content. I mean, it's cool for a while. They own that, because there's a lot of emotional ass people on here. Because the way they be canceling people, I ain't worried about no damn cancel culture. It is what it is. Ain't nobody participating in that. Just don't give them that attention. They hate that. They gotta be seen. You gotta acknowledge me. Ain't nobody acknowledge you. Stop it. You just gonna get mad and have a fit and be like pathetic G, her rant race. Because when people show clips of her, she's just ranting. She's
Yeah.
using the manosphere talking points, like Cerulean said. Shouts out to Cerulean again for that. And he said that they're using the same talking points. I said, oh man, that's sad. The women already got it.
She
Even Ty City said
you,
it.
yeah, she's using reverse psychology.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. And that's why I don't say nothing about her in my content. I only have to put pathetic G, because they already know what I mean by that. It's no need. Like, it's useless at the moment. When you fight somebody like that, you're not trying to win that battle. It's not the win or lose battle with them. No, it's just don't participate in it. Because that's how you got to look at it. Because most people, they're gonna get tired of you after a while. So yeah, she's
it
one of them women. Like, I don't even watch her shit like that.
I don't either. It's a waste of time. And not only that, like you said, when you give them recognition, you giving them power.
Yeah.
Because now you're giving them more fame. And I always say this when it comes to the female you just named. Part of the reason why she became so popular now is because of the males in this on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They gave her free marketing by always making videos of her. And I told people this back in 2018. I said, stop talking about her. Stop talking about her. Stop making videos about her, because all you're doing is you're making her more powerful, because you're giving her more marketing. You're giving her more exposure and more publicity. That's all you're going to do. You're going to make her famous, more famous. That's it. You're not killing her brand. You're actually promoting her brand when you talk about
Hmm.
her. That's it. And look
Yeah,
what happened. Look what happened. I was right.
yeah, he was. And she still keep going what she's doing. Like, you gotta understand, women like that will never stop. They will never, they will never stop. And that's the worst thing you want is you allow them to be crazy. And what I've learned from over the years since I've left it and come back like 2020, and I realized they have not changed. Even when I saw it in the workplace, it gotten worse. That lets you
Yeah.
know that it's here. We got to accept it. Not accept their bullshit. Not taking them in as well. No, I'm saying accept the fact that they are messed up and just leave them alone. That I've always said that too. Leave them alone. Learn to adapt to your own ways how to survive. See, the pandemic taught us they exposed what they were. They were hoes. I saw this on Twitter. I saw it on Instagram, naked pictures, you name it, publicly. And that lets you know they don't use YouTube and get away with it because they know what they are. But, niggas be drilling over them. But when you talk about OnlyFans all day, well, why you think they had money?
Thank you.
Everybody's locked in, and there's a reason for that. They are not gonna lose that shit because it makes them a lot of money. I don't care who owns it, what rapper owns it. Those are their pimps. Those are their tricks and players, whatever. But deep down, it's a game. Let them. They have the game. I hate to say this. They always had the game because once the man lost the pimp culture after 9/11, it was over. Even Nathan said that shit's over. You got to pay them. You can't be with them, and they'll let you know you got to pay them. That's what it is. Like, they'll let you know that, and they even say it on their Twitter accounts. They let you. It's been like that,
Yeah.
even from old to young, my generation above, and the younger generation of my sister and down below. They're like that, and I'm not even mad because that's who they are. That's their
Yeah. And the
personality. You
thing,
could, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. And the thing is that these niggas are dumb enough to pay him.
Facts, and that's why they will always exist. You can complain about the same ones you hate and complain about. And this is what Duke the Don was saying too. Cause I watched his shit too, and he said, you're doing the same thing on the other side to my mainstream ministry." And he talks about them things, and I laugh because of that, because it's the truth. Because I look at them what they are. Like, dude, if you complain about the same hoes all the time, stop dealing with them because they're going to and this is why Platinum is entertaining. Platinum's entertaining himself too. Quiet as good. Yeah, he know the industry, but he's entertaining. You got to understand, like Charleston White, he do the same thing. The difference is he don't cam up. He just lets you know I'm with the fuck shit. But he told that bossy chick, I saw a clip. He said on Bala X, he said, "Look, they do that now. What are you trying to do over here? Because people gonna look. They're gonna be desperate." And I know he throws the T word loosely, but Platinum lets you know, look, I don't give a fuck. If you're out here doing that, you're doing that. But you're gonna get found out on these websites. You know what I'm saying? Because people are gonna know about it. Feel sorry for what happened to Gino though. That's I told Gino that happens when you talking on the back end. People are gonna find you out eventually. So feel sorry for Gino, but shouts out to him. But someone said that in the
What
chat.
happened? What happened?
Uh, Somebody doxed him, and I know who it is, but they doxed him, and
Oh,
it was like it was stemmed from last year, and then them niggas over there. I would say particular them niggas, but the so called intellectuals over there, and one of they boys had something to do with it, and the other boy I don't fuck with the school with. Mal Manor fuck, aka Angry Man, but that's what it was. And I told Gino just leave that shit alone because he's got trolls and hackers on his team. Because what I've learned from off air, it's not good, man. Like, he has to know that they know you speak. You're very outspoken, and I try to tell them
mm,
that you tell it like it is, and you represent them one time, and they felt betrayed, and they had to do something to you. So it is what it is.
oh,
But like, I feel sorry. Like, hey, man, I try to warn you. These dudes got, yeah. That's why I stay out of it because I try to keep my distance. I said, nah, I ain't in on that. I warned him last year about that and what happened to him and shit like that. But he's all right. But I'm just saying, I've spoke to him in the email and he talked
Mm,
about but I ain't gonna get into details. He asked me what video, but y'all know what it is. But it was the most viral video on this Sunday Madness, and that individual's on there, Jay Sean. But it is what it is. I don't fuck with them like that, but that's just what it is. They scared of me because they'll be done in. So it's no
yeah.
need over here. So it's sad, but that's what niggas get distracted. Like I saw with Suge and versus Kwame Brown. Same thing, doxing, right? And Kwame got mad and flagged the shit. Well, Kwame, you're messing with another doxer. He's a retaliated doxer himself too. He's got receipts. He's for entertainment too. I don't, I watch him from a distance. I don't say that. I don't care for him like that. But when you niggas act up, they got you. They got a team. Like they say, I don't have that. If I had something like that, easy. But I ain't gonna do that. I ain't got time to dox people. I ain't got time. Why? You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough the white man does it, on these sites. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough.
But let me
You
tell you,
doing this work for him.
yeah. But
Somebody's getting paid.
here's the thing with the doxing thing, right? Is that this is the way I look at it? Is that when you dox someone, what you're showing to everybody around, what you're showing to everybody is that you're unable, that you're mad at something. You're, but you're still angry at it. But because you don't have the intelligence to actually destroy that person's point that you're angry at, or disprove the person's point that you're angry at, you want to go that low and put out that person's government name, their address, and all that other personal information. You're willing to stoop that low because it's because they're angry at that individual, but they cannot debate that individual's talking points. So they go to the next step: put out this person's address, put out this person's government name, put out this person's personal history, put out this person's financial information. Put out personal information that might embarrass the individual as a, as a way to cover up the fact that they cannot debunk the actual talking points of that individual. So what I'm trying to say is that in actuality, only a weak nigga resorts to doxing. I
Facts.
don't need that. I don't need to do that shit. That shit
Me
is
neither.
the low.
Oh,
It's beneath you, and it's beneath you too. It's beneath any
yeah.
decent individual
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you
that has
now.
some level.
You good now.
Oh, you said, oh, okay.
Yeah, you was borging a little bit, but I heard what the last thing you said was like a low hanging what you say? You was about to say low hanging fruit, right?
No, I said that's to stoop that low for in order to dock.
Okay, okay. Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I try not to do that because I understand that's a form of hacking, because I think Gino said he used to be a former hacker, but see, Gino, you can't be telling your personal information about what you used to do and stuff. And we try to tell him like, dude, you cannot do that. Them niggas is emotional over there on that side because once you got a team of dudes that do that, it's sick too. I don't like doxing because white folks do it all the time with the Call of Duty games, and it's been around forever. And I did not like the fact. I'm glad I don't play Call of Duty because them kids and those idiots, these hackers, they'll put your information out there. You can't be talking to these strangers like that because they'll do some harm like that. Because like you said, and it's very harmful to someone's reputation and things like that, ruin his life. And say if you was married, that's even worse because I see that all a lot. And this has not gotten better. Now, Google and YouTube ain't done nothing to stop that. But it's pretty much the same I've seen all year, and it ain't nothing new. I just saw Suge and Kwame going about it, and then Kwame got mad because some woman got doxxed that he did claim Suge did, but Suge's got a team of crazies that know how to beat the system, you know. And the one thing I hate about doxers, they always have some type of lawyer protection or some shit, but they shouldn't get those lawyer protections. But to be honest with you, it's wrong what they're doing. I think Kwame hit the nail on the head. But Kwame has saying, why you learn how to do what he did? Hell, you could have took that up to the court or some shit, but they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that because they got to stoop so low and play the game. Don't play their game, man.
Yeah.
But that woman is coming after Suge though. You know, he's gonna be out for a week because I know everybody knows Uncle Suge, of course. Him and Kwame Brown's going. That's the only drama I've seen. But after that, it's like, what's the point? I'm like, these niggas is not changing these spaces because okay, if y'all love doxing so much, what's the point of helping people? It's just sad, you